had done some investigating in the Chronicalarium and had found out that a apprentice tech priest named Bonus had been doing maintenance. There was something he was doing maintenance and he shouldn't have been. There's a lead, a trail that should be followed. But the team had spent their day investigating and were about to head back to their gun cutter, where their interrogator had allowed them to have a place of refuge, a place where they could talk about business freely and not be overheard by anyone who should not. As the team gets back to where their gun cutter should be, however, it's not there. The tech priest, who is in charge of maintenance for any ships in that dock, informs you that it should be landing any moment, that the ship had to return to its... well, the gun cutter had to return to the mothership for some more cargo. And that is where we start off, as our team are stood around for about 5 minutes before the gun cutter appears to come in for a landing.
I'm going to assume we've been spending some time just kind of standing there waiting for it. So Alexa will kind of walk towards the ramp when it opens.
I'm just sort of like staring at my data slate, and then like as the ramp opens, I sort of walk towards it, and then look up and realise I'm walking in the wrong direction, and then go back towards it.
He looks like administrator. He acts like it too.
He is it.
Only does.
My guess was correct.
So you were the cargo. Said, kind of slightly raised voice towards Diogenes.
I must say, usually when people call other people cargo, the people in being called cargo are dead. This is new to me.
What sort of cargo were you transporting?
I don't look
So
up unless
I
you say my
never
name.
truly transported the cargo. I just overheard this a lot by his chatter.
You can see the eyes for the mask. They're rolling.
Everybody get some rest. We move again in the morning. And then Alexa will kind of walk up, tap Diogenes on the shoulder, and kind of point towards one of the side rooms. We have something to talk about.
You've probably noticed that I have, most of the time, I have eyes under my bags. I mean, bags under my eyes.
Have your eyes in bags? What?
I'm just like the old wizard.
We have things to talk about. Come on.
I sort of just get up and then continue to look at my data slate until we get to the side room.
So we've been... the evidence from the search we've already been doing, as you should be aware. Have they managed to... has there been anything... have you had any information on your end?
GM. Have I?
You were not given any extra guidance by the interrogator. However, as your background would tell you, it is always best to go through the paperwork with a fine-tooth comb. There's always a paper trail.
I'll just sort of say there are other matters with the interrogator. Unfortunately.
We went to the Chronicalarium as suggested and found evidence that a tech apprentice Bonus was doing some unscheduled maintenance around about the same time the productivity dropped each time.
Ah. Maybe he was promoted too early.
Unscheduled maintenance, remember? I doubt that whatever he was doing was meant to be done. So it's best that we go through the Magos that we've already been in contact with in order to not step on any toes. Wouldn't do to overreach with our authority, would it?
Well,
Aren't we the Inquisition?
You'd probably been informed about our little cover at the moment.
you see, miss,
Oh, yeah.
the way I read the treaties, we have no authority here.
Exactly.
Aren't we in a little side room?
Erebus might have followed, I don't know. Did Erebus follow?
You're on a gun cutter, so it is your private ship. There is a side room available. However, the walls are still quite thin. The outer walls, the outer skid of the ship is very thick and protects you from space and people can't hear in. But once you're inside, yeah, it echoes and walls are quite thin.
So what you're telling us is space is very loud, since we clearly need that thick of a wall.
I'll go back over the data once we get back up.
I don't think we're going back up. After all, we have quarters here. Best to rest on planet.
Besides, I'm pretty sure the interrogator meant something along the lines of go back with the results or don't go back at all.
I'll sort of say, oh, okay then, and then just sort of like presume that there's nothing else, and then I'll just go back to my data slate and sit down.
Have you been informed of our cover?
I'll look up and yep, and then keep going.
Then you know you'll be the more experienced member of the administration.
I'll just sort of stop and go yep, and then keep going without looking up.
And try not to write any books.
Everyone's gotta have a hobby. And then I sort of like, it's like strapped to my my belt, essentially, my book that I've written.
And you might want to put it away. They've got a good chance of seeing it.
And then I'll sort of like nod and then like try and find a seat to put it under or something.
You have a bed.
Not on the gun cutter?
Yep.
Yeah, we have quarters on the gun cutter.
Okay, I'll put it sort of like under my pillow then, I guess.
I
It might be a bit
bring
too
you over
big,
to
and then
your gun cutter so you can actually see you do have a room. Well, there's only one room left to pick from, but you can have that one.
Wait, where's the gun cutter?
I mean, there's one with the spooky looking machine.
You see the map that's currently there, that we're all kind of stood at different points on? That's the gun cutter, and we've currently got our characters stood in the rooms.
I can only see an image of like the city.
Try refreshing
how have you
roll.
not been
Refresh
brought
your
over?
page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
we
page has
have.
crashed, I think.
Oh yeah, I have to sign back in. Also, I will be right back 1 second.
Yep. So
I swear to God, I have him on 200% and I still can barely hear him.
So as a couple of your crew go off into the side room, which is actually opposite the crew quarters, there is a room with hammocks in. That's where your crew sleeps. There are 3 of them. And as this discussion goes on, the 2 pilots leave the cockpit and they make their way down to the kitchen. And they used the comms to inform you all that they have some alcohol and they are going to be having a drink this evening. And they want to know if they can, well, if they're allowed to, basically. You guys aren't going anywhere, can we have a drink? We are willing to share.
Alex
Shrug.
will kind of respond with a, so long as you're good to fly if we need to tomorrow, drink as much as you like.
Knock yourselves out, gents. We're not going anywhere today, most likely.
Okay, I'm back, sorry.
So the two pilots have informed you that they're having a drink in the kitchen. They're also going to get some food on. So if you guys want to eat today, you can eat with them, or you can obviously sort your own food out if you're a bit of a loner.
Yay!
Talkative meal.
The Imperium does not judge.
No, but the
I'm sure
humans
it does.
I wonder
I think I
when
read a
the-
book once. Something about an
know-
Inquisitor.
Amanda will go sit with them. She weak, but she won't drink.
I'll probably just like go in, and then if I hear like any kind of noise, I'll just be like, okay, I'm leaving.
There's quite chit chat. The tech priest who runs your engines, he's come in and he appears to be eating something. The two pilots are just general chit chat at the moment. They actually, you'd pretty much notice they don't ask you any questions. Like, it's kind of that weird, when you're around new people, you expect to hear, like, where'd you come from? You know, what did you... They don't ask anything like that. It's just more about the world that they're on, the conditions that they've been flying in. And
They
that's-
aren't stupid.
I mean, they've been doing this shit for longer than we language work.
But yeah, then Alexa will mention to remind everyone that we need to be up early in the morning to continue the investigation, and she'll go to bed early.
Sure. So you all have something to eat. Some of you may have a nightcap before going to bed. You would probably notice that the tech priest doesn't go off to his room. Like, the two pilots seem to be sleeping in shifts. One of them has a few hours and the other one has a few hours. Whereas the tech priest doesn't seem to be on their rota. He goes back to the engine bay. And the night passes with no issues. You're woken early in the morning by one of the pilots. I'm guessing someone asked for a wake-up call. You don't have a tech priest to set the alarm, so unfortunately it has to be manually done.
I'll probably set myself an alarm, but then probably like still only get a few hours sleep.
Heresy.
I'll sort of like look at my my fancy wristwatch at like 3 in the morning and be like, I have to wake up in 3 hours.
So I'm guessing you all wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, a cup of recaf, and make your way back to the forge. Where would you like to go? Back to the Chronicalarium, or did you want to go off and go to a different part? Inform Magus Xenos what you found, or...
Alexa will kind of suggest we should introduce the more experienced official to Magus and inform them that we have a person of interest in the investigation.
We realise I'm not present at the time.
She will go looking for people if she can't find them initially. She's like trying to gather everyone up when she says this.
So just knock on all the doors then.
And if you wake me up, I'm gonna be woke up.
Woke.
Okay, my door will be open, but I would like to make a stealth check first, if our GM will allow that.
Sure, sure. Firstly, you would let's just for shits and giggles say that you woke up before Alexa came knocking on your door. So yeah, roll me a stealth. This would be kind of a spur of the moment. No, actually, roll me an awareness first to see if you can hear her coming down the corridor.
Oh no, this isn't very much just trying to hide from her. I'm just trying to see how much, I wake up early just to make sure that I can hide in a place. I leave the door open on purpose to see if anybody tries to spy on me.
Okay, so
Paranoid
you're
much?
actively setting a trap, essentially. Okay, so that won't. So give me a stealth check. If you're trying to find a place, I'd probably say there's a -10 because it's a small room and you're looking around for somewhere undetectable.
Damn it. I'm probably just standing in the corner hoping the shadows cover me and it doesn't work.
So you're stood where you've left the door unlocked and you're thinking to yourself, right, when the door opens, if I stand here, the door will cover me and she won't be able to see, or they won't be able to see me. This would be the perfect place to stand, to hide. Yeah, that will work well. Now, you do have to stand there for about an hour or so. It could actually be longer depending on when you woke up and when the roll call starts, but we'll say an hour. And you begin to hear someone walking down and knocking on doors and names being called, and you think, this is it. Wait for it. Alexa comes over and hits a button and your door slides into the wall and, oh shit, it slides. Alexa sees you standing next to the wall.
Oh no,
I'm just
I
standing
don't.
there.
I don't have good awareness.
Oh
And I
no,
mean,
Best
Alexa,
outcome ever.
you've opened the door and the door slid open and Ghost
Oh, and he stood at the door.
there. Yeah, as if the door, if it had opened inwards, it would have covered him. Because it slid into the wall, he's just stood there like, oh, fuck.
I heard you knocking on doors. What do you need me for?
we need to discuss our plans for the day and possibly about introducing our good friend.
Very well. I just walk out completely with already my weapons and everything already just there. And I just walk out the room past her.
If there was a tech priest waking people up, or
It's not a tech
one of
priest,
the
it's
pilots-
Alexa.
Okay, anyway. Still, Amanda would be up as soon as she was needed, and she would head straight to the living quarters, I believe, right here. And she's
Yep,
just gonna
that's
wait.
that's the galley kitchen area, dining room.
Go there, sit, and wait.
Does everybody else wake up when Alexa's doing the roll call?
Yep.
I'd probably already be awake. I probably would have gone to sleep and then woken up.
Also, if this is a roll call, I need some bars to bang on with my shock maul. If that's supposed to be a proper roll call, I mean, do things right or don't do them at all.
There is the floor is a it's one of those slatted
Perfect.
so you could
I'm
just
gonna be
run
doing
your
that.
Yeah, you could just run your shock baton along the floor, and it would go.
I'm gonna be doing that.
Also, GM, would I get to bring any books with me from the ship up above?
So, what books are you thinking about? Because for one, a book is a very rare thing in the Imperium. You'd be more likely, because you've got your own data slate, haven't you? Your personal data slate.
Yeah.
So you would more than likely have like digital copies that were on your data slate.
Okay then.
You've
I'll
got
just sort of wake up
PDFs.
and be reading my data slate again, and sort of just stand in my doorway,
I mean, I
sort of like
imagine.
shirtless and like, sort of like 40k equivalent of pajama bottoms, I guess. Just sort of stood there reading still.
I imagine the book that you writ yourself would probably be a prized possession, because you would have had to spend a lot of your script, your currency, wherever you were paid, wherever you worked, rather, to get the paper, to get the actual materials. That would have been something that you'd put a lot of work and, well, crowns into. So getting your hands on a real book would be something that, or getting your book published is something really big in the Imperium nowadays.
Yeah. So it's sort of like under my pillow, but like you could probably still kind of like, if you just easily look at the pillow, you just notice it's there because it's a bit too big.
The pillows are very thin.
I'll still just like put it there.
Get dressed. We're discussing plans for the day. In the galley.
You probably notice my character looks really tired, and I'll just sort of like just step back in while continuing to read.
And try to get some more sleep next time.
The galley, is
closes.
that down or is that's up in this map? Okay. I think I just accidentally moved
I
myself.
think
on
the
Alexa.
galley is down.
It's down. Someone dropped.
Okay.
Henry dropped.
Henry, no!
Yeah. And was there anyone in there before I would be able to move in there? Or
Yes, there would have been one of the pilots would have been in there, probably preparing breakfast and putting on a jug of recaf and.
okay. Do we have any meats here?
So your food on the ship, you do have some. You have dried. So think astronaut, dried meat. You have got, so basically, if you're a noble, the food here's shit. If you were in the guard, the food here's pretty good. If you're a normal civilian, the food here's pretty good. No, the food here's amazing. If you're in the administratum or administrorum, not stratum, the food here's about the same. So if you had a position where you were fairly high up in the Imperium before your life, the food here's about on par. It's about the same.
So, like being a member of the ecclesiarchy.
I think
a
lower
lower
ranking
member,
member.
a lower member
Yeah.
of the ecclesiarchy, yes, but not the higher members. If you came from a garden world, this food is crap because it's all dried, it's all preserved for, it's probably 20 years old. But once you add some water to it and mix it up and heat it up, it's actually pretty nice.
Just because I'm a feudal world sororitas, so it's like, yep, I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you would find the food doesn't look very appetizing, but there is a lot of flavour there. It does taste quite nice. But being a feudal worlder, you would probably be used to having like real meat and real, because a feudal world pretty much is self-sustained, food-wise.
But of course, I know what this food is because sororitas, militant army, the ecclesiarchy, and all that.
Real chicken.
I just grab one of the pieces of meat. I don't even warm it up. I don't even put it in water. I just slip part of my mask up, make sure to look away, and just bite a chunk of it out, just without effort.
Your mouth goes dry as a bone. Like you take that bite and you chomp down. And the co-pilot kind of sees this and is like, okay, here's some recaf or some water. It needs to be mixed with water. You might become dehydrated if you don't.
Okay, I turn around without actually putting my mask down again, and I give him a bit of a smile. Thank you for the advice. And does this NPC have stats?
He's basically he's middle of the road for NPCs, but
okay. How good's his perception?
oh, he's got like 30 in all his stats, essentially.
Yeah, I don't think that detail would really. I'm not showing that long enough to him before I slide my mask down again, so he's not going to see that. Okay.
Oh no, he probably saw it because all the food that isn't prepared.
No, I'm not talking about like me taking that bite or something, like something about my teeth. He wouldn't see that.
And they're not rotten.
They're not rotten.
Oh no, he probably wouldn't have seen that. You're quite right.
He wouldn't be. He wouldn't. He isn't perceptive enough to notice something's off about my dentures. Okay.
No, he saw you smile,
You
but
don't
he
know.
didn't.
He didn't roll.
Ah, you don't know if it was a GM roll or not. I can tell you I didn't roll. He was looking at you when he said, yeah, you need to add water to that or you'll get dehydrated. And I'm guessing he saw the smile and thanks for the advice, and he turned around to get recaf and other things to put on the...
Okay. So, what's the largest pan of water that's around here?
There's a jug of water on the table. There are 8 glasses. Well, not glasses. They're like army metal tumblers, like aluminium.
Do we have any?
mess tins.
Do we have anything like a bowl or a plate or anything of that thing?
Yes, there are
We have mess
bowls.
tins.
There are bowls and plates, but they're all like pewter. They're all metal, really hard wearing stuff.
I don't give a shit about that. I just put the piece of meat in a bowl, grab a glass of water, just dump it over there, and then just mask up, take another bite. Just
Yeah, you see that thing just swell as you add the water to it.
You could say if you consider like how the army does things, and that your mess tin is everything, we probably just got a bunch of mess tins. Because those things can literally do everything. Oh, you need a saucepan? Got a mess tin. Oh, you need a frying pan? You got a mess tin. Oh, you need a plate? Well, you got a mess tin and it's got a lid. You need something to wash yourself down with? Use the mess tin that you just cooked your meal ready to eat in. I wish I was
yeah,
kidding
those
about
things
that
are
one.
useful as all hell. Those things are useful.
And we're just waiting on Duca getting back because we
Henry.
can't make plans without him. And Duca.
Oh, did Duke?
Well,
Oh yeah, Duke had to shoot off as well. Well, I can tell you right now, my ideas of it being a 2-episode per planet thing.
Not happening.
Yeah, gone right out the window. It's all
Out
right.
the window.
We delayed that like massively.
It's not a problem. We have had a couple of issues.
You
Nope.
should have learned from Michael's mistake. He thought that us getting onto the ship was one
Those
episode.
were the days.
What did it take you like 4 of them just to start your campaign?
No, he was contemplating whether to do the planet, and the planet ended up being the majority of our campaign.
As in, I literally dragged the rest of the party into helping my character take down the crime lord.
And then one of you got stabbed in the bottom of the underhive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that-
Strange. It's almost as if you heard this story before.
Yeah.
Come back.
That character was quite the opposite of what I'm playing right now.
Welcome back.
At least personality-wise.
Nope, you were still criminal scum.
Yeah, but Draco was good criminal scum. he worked with the Arbites, essentially just, I maintain order here. You don't have to look. You don't have to do
There
as
ain't
much of your job here.
no good in 40k. Remember?
Yeah, but there's breaking, there's evil, law. You got heretics, lawbreakers, and those who technically obey the Book of Judgment.
Let's just remember, people, morals are in the time that you live in.
Space Nazis. We are literally space Nazis.
No, we're
But
not
if
fascists
we,
enough now.
if we weren't, every human would be dead. So it was that or extinction. Oh well. So
I set up for space Nazis.
Amanda, you have just seen that Ghost has learnt an important lesson about dehydrated food, and that you must rehydrate it before it is edible.
Oh. Not an
Yeah.
imperial guardsman. Just gonna shake my head and keep eating.
Yeah, I also then immediately after I was told to hydrate it, just dumped it into a bowl, poured water over it, and just took another bite. Actually, did you see my teeth? Is the question here.
All the player characters can roll awareness for that moment, because it would have been something in this small room you all would have noticed.
Let's try this because I have terrible awareness because of my lack of having awareness.
No, yeah.
I got
Yeah,
below
that
what my
is
target
fine.
would have been if I had 1 pip in awareness.
Nope.
Okay. And I'm assuming Duke's character. Duke is still not back, is he?
No.
Yeah.
Which means
But
the
anyway.
plan.
But all you can see is just me, just with just chunk of meat in my hand that's now hydrated. Just
Hurry up
just
and finish
tearing
it.
off.
We need to discuss plans, not devour an extra breakfast.
I have not yet had breakfast. I usually do not eat at regular times. It is not something I was used to. It leaves a pattern that can be followed.
Now then, do we discuss? So then, what are our plans for today? Do we return to the Chronicalarium and attempt to find more out-of-place records, or should we attempt to follow up on this person of interest?
I could try to track this tech adept bonus.
We're not doing anything out of place without going to the Magos. We already need to explain that we have a more well-trained member. Might even lend credence to the cover story that this is just a way to train up one of them. So then, any suggestions for our plans today?
Person of interest seems an obvious choice. I'm not sure how much we would find. Tracking a single tech adept on the Forge world might prove difficult.
We probably head back to the Chronicalarium. Now that we have someone that is actually specialized in that kind of paperwork.
And the person of interest shouldn't be going anywhere yet. After all, we've not given them any reason to suspect that we've found out any information. I really want to have Alexa actually ask Diogenes for his opinion, but we can't have Duca. So it's like Diogenes just like come in the room and then just falling asleep on the table.
So Diogenes is currently reading his data slate, and as Amanda brings up that perhaps the Chronicalarium is the best place to go, he does speak up and Chronicalarium, yeah. And then he goes back to reading his data slate. His eyes do kind of, as he realises there's a lot of data in there. There's a lot of information. His eyes do kind of sparkle a little bit.
Then I guess we're going to the Chronicalarium, as attempting to locate that would be easier than stepping on someone's toes. And we can at least exercise what small amount of power we've been given. I checked my chrono. How long till the tech priest is meant to arrive and talk to us?
No tech priest is going to disturb you.
Oh, the guy's not coming to talk to us now.
You have... Oh, what name did I give him? I gave him an odd one, and I didn't write it down.
I'm looking for it.
So, no, it wasn't Bonus, and it wasn't Xenos.
Jonas.
You have his combead, so you can message him, and he will come to you and take you to where you need to go.
Okay, now, Diogen. Now, Duke is back, so Duke, I've just asked, any suggestions about, do we follow the person of interest or go back to the Chronicalarium now that we have someone who actually knows how to read the records properly?
If he doesn't know we're coming, I guess, and I shrug, I guess he'll sort of think we won't be scared.
So the Chronicalarium, get more information before, and then go into it afterwards.
For a start, do any of you know where Tech Apprentice Bonus is located?
No.
Yeah, you got his name last time. That's why I was. Yeah, you do need to go and.
But I had a plan. Remember, I was going to go to the Magos about this.
Oh, true. Yep. No, you can still.
I did actually.
If you want to do that, you can still do that.
I did actually mention last session that I was going to quite possibly murder the subtlety by doing this. But I'm not going into this feat first because my character's not a smart person. They know this, and they're trying to get everybody else to do the thinking. They'd make a
Mr. Eberus. I'm struggling with names.
Erebus.
The weird thing is, I can say your name, Erebus, normally, but it's, can you roll for me?
Yes.
Let's call it law, because that uses your intelligence, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's call it law and give yourself a plus 20.
I'm gonna roll this judgment.
Yep, that's fine.
8.
Okay, with an 8, you were given the the laws and the protocols that the Adeptus Mechanicus use, and you studied that quite well. Although it was completely different to your Arbites law manual, you notice that they're very precise and very to the. There's almost no fluff in their manuals. It is do a crime, get punished. Do a crime, get. There's no taking to holding cells. There's no. It's almost as if they don't like the hold up, as if they don't like to be interrupted, and they like the flow of things to move as quickly and with as little friction as possible. And as you think about this, it comes to you that it might not be necessary to tell the Magos about everything that you're doing.
I don't think we have to appraise the Magos of every single little detail of our labor. Let's keep it on need-to-know basis.
Then we should first work in the Chronicalarium and then possibly see if we can locate where this other tech priest will be, or the tech apprentice rather. Is everyone in agreement? If so, I will call the tech priest Jonas over for the microbead.
I'll shrug.
Same.
How does Bobdrick Glenn, as his current name is, respond? Jay?
He may have forgotten that was his alias.
Jay!
How does Ghost respond? Is he even listening to Electra at this point, or is he just completely engrossed in his meat?
I have finished the meat and I've started to listen to the latter end of it. Whatever you decide, you seem to be better in these matters than I am. I am simply here to kill or stalk any potential loose ends.
Then we'll have breakfast, and I'll call Jonas afterwards. We'll be returning to the Chronicalarium and reviewing more data. And with that, Alexa will go over and prepare some of the rations, kind of actually properly.
So the rations that the co-pilot was preparing, and the big jug of recaf that he put on the table, his food looks perfectly fine. It looks like he's done this a million times before.
I just assumed he was making himself rations for all of us.
He was doing it for everyone.
Then I'll eat that, and I'll thank him. And if there's a fire in the room when it goes out, I carefully prick my finger with one of the teeth of my chain blade so that I can drop 3 drops of blood into where the flame was.
So you've got a hot plate?
So there's not fire. Good.
No, it's like a hot plate. Well, it's basically a hot plate.
I gotta make sure, because one of us might be silly enough to have an open flame.
I mean, if one of you smokes and has a lighter, that's about the only way that there will be a open flame on board.
Maybe one of them smokes.
I mean, technically, I have an open flame on board whenever I activate my hand flamer.
True. I did actually forget about your flavor.
I mean,
I'm not carrying it with me because it's not very subtle in that it's very clearly ecclesiarchy.
I mean, Erebus smokes, but he doesn't smoke on the ship, so he probably has a lighter.
Yeah, but there's not the whole thing where we're not actually using fire yet, so my superstition doesn't come into play.
I know which one you're talking about.
Small question. The meat was dry. Does that mean it was also still raw or not?
No, it was already cooked. So imagine the freeze-dried MRE rations that you can get today, like the ones that go up in space and all that nonsense.
I was going to say, he's probably just eating beef jerky if you dehydrate the beef jerky even more. Think that type of meat at the moment.
I never.
It's crunching in his mouth. It's like cereal.
No, it's if it's after the water, if it's still a beef jerky kind of texture, then the whole ripping it apart thing wouldn't work because it just break.
No, it kind of, once it absorbs water, it becomes far more like a brisket in that it just falls, it holds its shape, but as soon as you take a bite out of it, it just kind of falls apart.
I remark. This is strange. This is not usually how meat feels to me. And then I just mask down again.
So, everyone else, eat. We need to have our strength, and hunger is the enemy.
Anger is also a good motivator. But perhaps not for what we are about to do.
So does everyone else eat?
I'm going to, as the GM, say that everyone has eaten and drunk by now.
And then once everyone's eaten, Alexa will call over the microbead frequency to Jonas. Tech Priest Jonas, this is Alexa Venria. We need escorting once again to the Chronicalarium.
Very well. Blessings of the Omnisire be upon you. I will be at the dock in 13 minutes 42 seconds. Please be there when I arrive. I have much to do today.
Thank you. And blessings of the Omnisire upon you. And then the moment, like, I'm done with the microbead and the Emperor. Like, the moment
What a rebel!
I'm not angering the guy, but it's the Emperor that Alex is more concerned with. Sure, they might be the same person, but that's because they got it wrong.
What a rebel!
I mean, in all fairness, you're being very diplomatic. Most Imperial citizens don't bother. They just, the Emperor. And the Mechanicus just stand their ground and go, yes, the Omnisire. It's only the diplomats who are ever really that, polite to each other. So
Yeah, I'm not intelligent, but I've got pretty good perception, and my fellowship is the maxed out fellowship I could get, so yeah, I gotta do it properly. I might not be smart, but hey, I'm very, very good at dodging issues.
I think I have the lowest fellowship out of all of us.
Let me guess, it's like 22.
25. It's pretty good, actually, I guess.
So you all meet with Tech Priest Jonas. He has 2 data slates in his hand. I believe he had an optical mechadendrite.
I didn't write it down,
I feel chuffed with myself knowing
but I
that.
assume he does, because it's one of the Adeptus Mechanicus
And I
starting
think he
items.
has a robotic arm as well. And he's kind of his optical mechadendrite is looking over one data slate, and his own eyes are looking over another. This way, I will lead you to the. There is one more. It matters not. I have too much on my docket. This way, I will lead you. And he doesn't really wait for you all to assemble. He just starts walking away.
I'll just follow after him. I'm
As
not
we're-
looking at my data slate this time.
As we're
It's
kind of
still-
walking,
still there.
I'll say, thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to escort us.
It is not out of kindness. I was forced to do this by Megos Zenas. She is my boss. I do as she says.
I'll just sort of nod and for some reason, it's almost like my character can just really relate to that.
There are some of us who wish to rise in the ranks of the Tech Priests. Some of us still wish to do the Omnisire's work to our fullest ability.
And she does not?
No. She is very dedicated. There are others among us who are not so.
Are they just lazy, inefficient, or or is it a case of being disruptive? I've met such people.
Inefficiency is their main defect. It is something that the flesh is at fault, but it is difficult to describe to one who is not of the priesthood.
Way I see it, why cling to an old and decrepit tool when there's a better alternative? Honestly, if I had the cash, I'd buy myself some cybernetics as well.
You hear a very odd binary come from the system, the cybernetics around his neck, and it almost sounds like it's a low pitch, high pitch, low pitch, and then he, yes, there is no need in a useless tool. You will note, Alexa, can you roll me a charm test? Yeah, I think a charm would work. I'll give you a +10 because you have been very diplomatic at the moment. Okay. Yes, you would note that, and as his optical mechadendrite no longer looks at the datapad, it now looks around. And as you are walking, there are quite a few tech priests and apprentices, and can you all give me an awareness? No, actually, I'll give it to you. As you look around, you'll note that the very young, their skin is still smooth and unblemished. They don't have many scars. They are the least augmented. And as you look around, the tech priests who are almost more machine than man, you don't see any wrinkled skin. You don't see any skin at all. We in the tech brotherhood do not accept the failings of flesh. Those who do not perform do not get, and he holds up his mechanical arm, augmented. It is a sign of disgrace. It is a sign of unworthiness to serve. There are few among us like this, but enough to cause annoyance.
I know what it's like to deal with those who are inefficient with their jobs. It'd be much easier if everybody fell in line and worked as the system was meant to.
Very true. It would mean less of a payload for those who perform their duties well. And he actually holds up the data slate to almost indicate that someone's fucked up somewhere, so he's now got more work to do.
And I assume conversations like this just keep going, with Alexa being diplomatic and slightly nice.
Occasionally me just remarking that, yes, I would really like cybernetics instead of my flesh.
Until we reach the place.
As you walk, it's about, what did I say last time? It's about an hour for you to walk to the Chronicalarium, and on the way, Jonas does stop at it's a very innocuous. It doesn't. You wouldn't notice it if he didn't stop there. He takes out a small bottle. It's about a litre, maybe a little bit under, and he pushes it to the wall, and a hatch opens up, and it appears to be a water port. As his bottle clicks into the device, it fills his water, and he takes it, and you'd probably notice, because this is something that's quite... What are you? His bottle cap has turned red now, whereas before it was blue, and he takes the bottle and places it back underneath his robes.
A system for refilling water or some other fluid while on the move. That would cut down travel time significantly if one needed to actually get a drink.
Indeed, he seems a bit peculiar that you would bring it up. It seems so mundane to him. Indeed, it is more efficient for us to acquire fluids on the go. We do not need to stop long for nourishment, yet the flesh always requires rehydration.
Oh, I apologize for bringing it up. It's just I've not seen such a system before. I should be making suggestions on how to make other places more efficient based on it.
Very well, it seems odd that, however, those not of the order do tend to enjoy sitting, and he almost spits the word out, just relaxing. It is not something we, or the Omnisire, appreciates. Idle hands make for errors. And he carries on.
So eventually we get to the Chronicalarium.
You do indeed get to the Chronicalarium, where he again goes to as many cognates as you need, and puts in his personal identity password, and you all have access. He then sits down and carries on going through data slates.
So then, scrutiny perception time?
Yep. You can have a +10 because you know who you're looking for, or you're looking for information around this individual. With a 0.8. Duca, this is also where your character, Diogenes, I feel like I said that wrong, can also roll. Well, unless you have, if you have Administrorum law, you could probably use that. Although,
I was going to say, since he's administrative, couldn't he use logic?
Administratum.
Or his own administratum law?
Yeah, I was thinking his own law first. Would make more sense.
Anybody else joining me in my scrutiny rolls?
I could try.
I'm gonna make an attempt.
You gonna roll your administratum or something, Duca?
Nope.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that Ghost got another 0.8, and I was like, hang on a minute, no, that's the wrong way round. Because your targets are almost like exactly the same. Well, a little bit. Okay, so
All of us were scrutiny here, just those three.
you can do
You
if you
stole the
want.
door last time.
If you want, otherwise your character is just going to be sat there for 2 hours, not really doing much.
I know Roy's scrutiny because apparently nobody succeeded. So
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
I
sure
succeeded. I got an 8 on a 46.
Oh, then never mind. I'm not gonna try it because my
Still.
my target is shit.
Ah, you
My
can always
character is
go for
mostly
the
just.
0.1.
My character is just. He's just there being the bodyguard.
Okay, so with a 0.8, Alexa, as you look at the information, you do a search on Tech Apprentice bonus, and you come up with several data files that you need to go through. Tech Apprentice bonus is extremely young to be a Tech Apprentice. He has already received a artificial bionic arm. He has also received a utility mechadendrite, and he's only about 19. He has a number of recommendations to be taken on by other tech adepts. his record so far states that he was born on this world, and he was actually kept behind for a long time. It seemed like his peers were just overtaking him until he got to the age of 8, when his intelligence just exploded. He just absolutely decimated all the rankings, any test he was given, he seemed to do really well at. However, you cannot see a single black mark on his record, but what you do find is that since the age of 4, he has been the disciple of tech priest Danta.
Just check if that's how you spell it.
Yes, that's right. As you look deeper into Bonus's records, you see that he is being placed in the... Which one was it? Hang on, let me check my notes. He was placed in the Delta facility. You have the location of where he is based and his master is based. They both work on extracting chemicals from raw ingredients. The post is not particularly glamorous, and it is quite mundane, but it's a vital part of the workings here.
Does he have prior postings that match up with the lowered productivity?
No, it seems that since he was 4, he has been under the supervision of Tech Priest Danta, and they have always been but housed in the Delta facility, and they've always worked in the Delta facility. You would know that they are responsible for several chemicals from a byproduct of a type of seed. In fact, I would say that your role was good enough to find out that they work with a secondary runoff of the base compound, which is a melanus seed. Several chemicals can be found in melanus seeds, the most dangerous of which are taken out first, and then after that it goes down the chain until finally it's used as a waste vegetation product, so it could end up in the food. And they are cleared to use the second run of that material, which, as you look through, it's not... No tech priest wants to stay in this position. As you look through the positions, and it's normally a staging post in a way for tech priests to move on to other chemicals. They know how to use dangerous chemicals now. Combining them would be the next process, and moving up in the hierarchy. Dantas has been there for 30, 40, 50 years.
Is the turnover usually much, much higher than that?
A normal tech priest would... In this facility, in this forge, dealing with chemicals and the such would normally expect to be there for no longer than 5 to 10 years.
That's interesting. At least I have some more of the information we've needed to continue our investigation.
What did you found?
Something interesting. Does anyone else find some of this strange? And I'll kind of like discreetly show everybody bits and pieces of what I found in such a way that it's not immediately clear who I'm looking up if the tech priest looked over his shoulder. But I think we know who we need to go talk to.
So you want to go after the apprentice or the master?
The master. Also, can I roll logic to do reading stuff?
Sure, you can.
Getting the clues from unrelated facts. When we get fate, do we get all our fate points back, or is it still the whole one per session?
I'm gonna adopt the 1 per session for now, but there will be times when I give you a full fate refresh. Particularly when you have a lot of downtime, and there will be times at the end of certain missions where you will spend months traveling to the next location. Obviously, we're not going to play that months. That will just happen. You get your fate back, blah blah blah. But for now, yeah, we'll do 1 per session refresh.
Yeah, fate back and not subtlety destroying influence rolls. But yeah.
So you rolled a 76 with a target of 47. So you find... What were you looking for? Were you going to look up... What were you looking up, Juka?
I think he was looking for the same stuff we were all looking up. It's just he's using logic instead. Because I assume he doesn't have scrutiny. And logic, you can use it for picking out information from unrelated... Or clues from unrelated info.
I'm going to say that you did it on Danta. That you looked at Alexa's data slate with the name discreetly written on there and some of the information she found, and you just typed in the name and searched. You find files on the name, but you can't make head nor hair of them. They're not laid out in the format that you're used to, and it's kind of a bit overwhelming. How can this be? This is very efficient. This is not what I'm used to.
I wouldn't mention that. I'd probably just be a bit angry.
I'm going to look into...
How dare they be better than me?
Now I'm going to look into Dantas.
Sure. Again, you can have a +10 because you know... I'll say a +20 because you know what you're looking for and you know the area. Like, you know it's in Delta. So you can chuck out all the rest and refine your search. With a 22. Okay. So you find out that Danta... originally, many years ago, there's a lot of information about him. A lot of it mechanicus nonsense that you can try and quickly skim through. You find out that when he was a young man, he was very adept, and he moved to his position really quickly. But then he stagnated. He didn't move. You note that there are many names that were associated with him. Colleagues, friends, Mechanicus maybe not friends, but work colleagues. And you note that they all get promoted. They all begin moving up, but he seems to stagnate. You would find out that he only has an optical mechadendrite, and I believe that's it. Yes, he only has a optical mechadendrite. However, as you look through the records, like you noticed this with bonuses, when he got an upgrade, when he got a biology, basically when he got an upgrade, it was noted very specifically who gave him the upgrade, where it came from, what it was for, and what the Omnisire thought. But you note very recently that Danta got an upgrade, a robotic, mechanical arm of good quality. But the people who'd normally sign off for it, they've all been left out. It literally has just him booked in for upgrade arm, right arm, good quality, back to work on this date, and efficiency reports and such. You would also have found out with bonus that he was doing maintenance on the water purification part of the central spire, and that because I mean you got 08, so going further back, you would also note that he has been doing maintenance on the water purification center for some time now. It's an extremely long time. But then you look up the times of when their workshop, when Bonus's workshop and Danta's workshop have been producing, and they're producing stuff off hours. Like when their part of the facility should be shut down and they would be taking a break, or they'd be doing prayers to the Omnisire, or they're still producing, which stands out to you. And I think that's all the information you get.
Anybody else gonna roll?
Can I roll again?
Sure,
I think
you can roll. You can roll again.
I don't think it's really in my character. It's like
Would I be able to,
None
with
of my rolls
logic, try and
terrible.
find out if anyone was keeping him back? Like, the names of the people.
I will probably say that if you and Alexa are like biocognitated, you're kind of sharing a bit of information between you on your, because you both have data slates.
Considering that he's meant to be kind of training me, because we came in and one of us was meant to be like an inexperienced, we're giving them a milk run type thing. It's probably along the lines of like Alexa is going over every so often like, what do you think of this? Can I have your opinion on this? And then pointing at and using it like to discreetly point out interesting bits of info to him.
I would probably say that you could use the information that Alexa has already got for that. You wouldn't need to roll. You could roll for something else, but with what she's already, like, she points at the cognite, and you look over, and essentially it was failing to hit targets. It was an inefficiency. There were times when he would send in his finished product, the chemicals that he was supposed to have have purified, and they weren't purified. They were filled with impurities, so they had to be done again. And it was just certain times he was not thought of to be given like the right level of proficiency in things, like things that he should be able to do easily, and they were constant mistakes, constant failures, constant delays, and that's what you see when you look at why he was kept back. He was no one person. Like, in the years that he was in his position, the people who were in charge of him have moved on. They've gone on to greener pastures, moved up in the ranks, and someone else has taken over and again looked at the data. And even you would be able to look at the data and go, what was this fucking dude up to? Why was he fucking up all this simple work that, like, 30 years ago, he was doing perfectly?
Can I try and find information about how his job's done?
Sure.
But while this is kind of like happening, once Alexa notices this, she'll kind of go over to our tech priest friend and go, I apologize for interrupting you while you're working, but as I was going over some data, I noticed that one of the locations appears to be working when it should not be. The rest of the facility is powered down, or there are rites being performed. Is this a normal thing for this specific facility?
He kind of gets a little bit, because you haven't interrupted him whilst you've been here before, and he quite liked that. And now he's like, he puts down both his data slates, and he looks over your information, the information that you're willing to show him, and this is most peculiar. He should have shut down his facility. Why has he not? And he goes over to a Cognite and types in his password and begins typing furiously with one hand, and comes up to data, moves along. He has not informed the Magos that he was doing extra works. This is an error. He must have... He looks at your... These times are... He should be performing rites to the Omni Sire. Why is he...
And I also noticed something else that was a bit off. When someone has a implant installed, it's signed off at multiple levels, but it appears that he's had a mechanical arm fitted that has no real origin point. It's just been installed. And I'll kind of carefully pull up the information that he's got. There's no signatures on this arm.
This cannot be. The rites have not been performed. This arm would not function. It has not been awoken. This I would need to look into this myself and ensure that the data has not been mishandled. This would be an irregularity in our functioning. He looks at... I will bring this up with Magos Zenas when I next have my scheduled meeting with her in 2 days, 27 hours and 32 minutes, 9 seconds from now.
Thank you. We'll keep looking for more irregularities. There seems to be quite a few connected to this Danta.
Please do. This is most irregular. I will need to inform the...
And should he have such a rising star under his wing?
I'm trying to remember who keeps the bloody records. It's the Chronicles. is the chroniclers. I will inform the chroniclers of their errors. Ah, yes. Bonus is a rising star in the eyes of the Omnisire. He has been blessed many times. I have even heard that he will be receiving augmented senses very soon. It was his wish to remain with his master until he had completed his time in the position that he holds. Another 2 years, 4 months, 12 days. And I do not have the hours or minutes. And 9 seconds.
That's interesting. Thank you again. And I apologize for the interruption. Just thought it prudent that it be brought to someone's attention with some major authority here. And you're the closest that we have to any authority.
He bows and makes the sign of the Omnisire, and you see him pick up his data slate, and this time he picks it up with one hand and begins putting in data with the other. Diogenes, you notice as you look through how the chemicals are extracted and how they're made, servitors are used in the process. Each laboratory houses a tech priest, an apprentice in that particular field, and 2 servitors, mine linked to the apprentice and master, and that part of the knowledge that the tech priests will acquire in this position is advanced control over servitors. Servitor functions is what I probably should have said. But you'd also find that the chemicals are all of a liquid form. They don't seem to extract gases at his laboratory, at his staging facility. Gases are extracted from the melanus seeds, but that's much later on, like processing 9 or 10.
Does it, like, with the chemicals, does he have a thing where it shows side effects on them? Like, if this chemical is exposed to a person, this happens.
So he mainly extracts 4 chemicals in his area. The chemicals don't seem to be harmful on their own. Like, he doesn't extract acids, he doesn't extract anything like that. No, if the it seems to be that the actual material that they're using, the melanus seeds, after its first cycle of extraction, they use very dangerous chemicals, and it's actually that substance that is harmful. So in the process of extracting the other chemicals in his lab, the I don't know, what should we call it, melanus goop, that's the actual dangerous part. That's the part that still has like acids and still has chemicals that will burn and irritate the skin. The chemicals he extracts from that seem to be mundane, but they are used in a large number of medicines, combat drugs, and other things, such things.
Okay. I'm just carefully taking tons of notes. Gotta make sure I don't miss anything. How long's it been since we came in here?
You have made, I believe, you made 2 rolls, and then we had another 2 rolls. So it's been about 4 hours of you guys going through the data and checking through everything. Technically, it should actually be longer than that, but we'll say 4 hours that you've been hard at the cognites. So you could say it's midday if you were going to ask for a time. It's about midday.
Or do you think we could get some more information from the Cognites, Diogenes?
I don't know. I think we've got enough, but I can always get more.
Another day spent researching using this information will allow us to not be caught off foot later. When we need when we need to find a paper trail, we'll already have it. But there's not much more we can look for. Actually, when I was looking over for Dantas, when the unscheduled maintenance happened with Bonus, like when Bonus did some maintenance a bit on his own, was Dantas meant to be there actually doing maintenance? Or was he there doing maintenance as well?
So you do a quick search to find out if Danta has done any maintenance over the last 5 months. You find that he's done no maintenance in the past 5 months. The 6 months ago, so on top of that, another 6 months, no. Another 12 months, no. From all the data that you've already looked at, I won't call that an hour-long search. That's pretty quick. He doesn't seem to do maintenance, although you notice that even Tekmagos Zenas, even she does maintenance. It seems that maintenance is done by everyone, but for some reason you don't see him volunteering to do any.
That's even more interesting. He doesn't do any maintenance whatsoever. This can't be right.
So far, I am not very impressed with this particular person.
Janice, sorry for interrupting again, but he also does not seem to do any maintenance. Is that normal? In any means?
Well, only those of the highest rank can forego the enjoyments of... No tech priest would forego such holy rites. These things bring us closer to the Omnisire himself. It may say voluntary, but it is also mandatory.
So it's like a sacred duty kind of thing. Privilege yet obligation.
Well, yes. All machinery is the Omnissiah's church. All working parts are things to be celebrated and maintained. It seems very peculiar for one to forego such.
Especially when his apprentice seems to be having unscheduled maintenances at other times. Almost like his apprentice actually wishes to do extra maintenance.
Apprentices do not do maintenance. They have not achieved the right for such pleasures. They do not do only under special circumstances when their masters allow them to join them.
That's even stranger then. After all, this information must be correct with it being recorded here. And
Bonus
yet,
would have such a right, being that he seems to be chosen, but at the same time, his master would take credit for such an act. He looks over the data that you've shown him, or he goes to the cognite where you've shown him the information. And there is a really puzzled look on, essentially it's on his eyes, around his eyes, and his eyebrows. Most of his lower jaw is taken up by a cybernetic.
I'm gonna scrutinize him. So I want to know what his thought, like how he seems to be reacting to this a bit more than just, oh, surface glance. So, scrutiny fellowship.
Yeah, do a scrutiny fellowship. I'm gonna have to do. I think he's gonna. I don't know how he should.
If he was trying to like keep himself hidden, the general opposition for a scrutiny seems to be deceived.
No, he's not trying to hide anything. So this is a place as a GM I've never come to before. So
I mean, I'm generally just trying to see, is he on the up and up and genuinely confused about this, or is this like something that occasionally happens and we're outsiders and he's a bit confused about it, but he's more confused that we found this.
no, so you can roll your scrutiny fellowship for what he's.
I don't see anything.
He genuinely does look like concerned and like this is something he's never seen before. Like a curiosity. He's seen something that, wait, you think the world's flat and it's like this? And it's kind of, he's been shown data that in his feeble, squishy cognite in between his ears, it just doesn't make sense. Why would someone forego? He's been very honest in the way that he looks, is like presenting himself.
And throughout this entire thing, I'm being respectful and attempting to get to the bottom of this mystery. What's more, some of this data appears to match up with other events that were why we originally came here. Dantas, not so much, but Bonus at least, when his unscheduled maintenance. It falls within a not expected, but possible time frame for the inefficiency drops.
He looks over at the data and where the where the maintenance has been taking place. Do you wish to see these facilities, or do you... These numbers, they... But how could... So... Think of it from his...
I think it might be best that we see the facilities as soon as we can,
from
if
his
you've got the time.
situation.
If not, we can do it when you're less occupied dealing with the stakes.
By all means, I have been tasked with showing you to where you need to see. If you are ready, I can lead you to where he appears to have been carrying out this maintenance. Or you can go to his location and question him. However, the data that you have given me... he's going to roll an intelligence. His intelligence is pretty good. He's going to roll a fellowship. Because he's really busy. He's got... But you've shown him some interesting data. Okay, he's not interested enough to look
No
into
need
it himself. So he's not going to look into it himself. Well, I have much to do, but I can do that whilst showing you to your destinations. It was your task to look into this. The Omnisire works in mysterious ways, but this is your task, your duty. When you are ready, I will lead you to the water purification plant.
Is that a character? It's like when Mass Effect, when you complete a mission, it's like end mission. You can go talk to the one guy. And then Alexa will kind of be like, I think we've got our next location to head off to. Diogenes, it might be time to move. If he's not already like stepped away from the cogitator. I think we should all be getting ready to move on. We should try and look at this maintenance before anything else could be done to it.
As you wish.
Yeah, let's go.
So,
Ilka?
Juka.
Diogenes, are you there?
Hello?
Cool.
Yeah.
So, you all follow the tech priest. It takes you around half an hour to walk to the water purification plant. He takes you to the area where tech apprentice Bonus appears to have been performing his tasks. As you walk into a very large circular chamber, you notice that there is one massive pipe that runs central of the spherical room, and on either side at 4 points you see a mass of pipes. There are too many pipes to count. In their thousands of different thicknesses and sizes, going down and running down the walls and deep underground. As you come into the room, you walk across to the central pipe and you look down the catwalk that you've walked along, and it goes a long way down. It goes into darkness that you cannot see the bottom. And as you are led around this ginormous pipe. You come to a section of different, there all these valves and pressure gauges and levers, and there's even a giant red button or two, and it's all a bit overwhelming. And Jonas tells you this is where it appears as if Bonus was working. This is a key area. He would not have permission to work on such delicate components.
But what if he didn't do it, but claimed, but it went in as him?
Someone using it, they would not take credit for their work. It would make no sense in our orders. It...
Can I scrutiny the thing to see if there's anything like majorly out of place, like a valve that's got too high pressure or something that's actually like even I'm who untrained could notice this?
Sure. Give me a scrutiny perception.
Oh, would I notice something wrong with the way it's been doing or been done?
You can give me a scrutiny perception as you look around. You can give me a perception if you don't have that for just looking around, but you might... it won't give you as much information as scrutiny.
And then there's me, rolls exactly my target.
It's worth a try.
So as you look around at all the dials and gauges, and there's even a couple of pressure gauges. You think they're pressure gauges. They have water running into them. And then at the side of them there are several tubes, clear glass tubes, that as you look closer they too appear to have water running through them. And then above them there's a hatch. It has a valve type seal on it, and you can see a sign that... no, you wouldn't be able to read it. It'd be in binary. In fact, no. I think even in the Imperium, warning is still written in low Gothic. So yeah, there's a warning sign, but you can't read what for. The description of why is in binary script. But as you look around, you note that you look at the seal, and you place your hand underneath the tube and you wipe round the rim underneath, and there's a slight wet, but then a gritty texture, almost like sand. And as you wipe your hand away, you bring it up, and at the top of your fingers, well, by your closest to your palm, there's an almost still white powder moving closer to your fingertips. It appears more sludgy. It's got wet, but you've definitely found something around the seal of that catch.
Isn't that interesting? There appears to be something at this seal that really shouldn't be. I assume a white powder should not be on a seal such as this one.
I take it you say that to the tech priest, Jonas.
Wait.
He turns.
Would I know though? Because I did the test before and passed it about this, how it works.
No, this is the water purification plant. You know how the chemicals are done. This is a different area. This is the area that houses this forge facility. All of its water.
If you were Adeptus Mechanicus, you could possibly know, but you're not.
his optical mechadendrite spins round and zooms in on your hand as he turns round. Impossible. This is where we insert chemicals to purify our water supply. All chemicals are liquid based to prevent error. He goes out to take some of the chemical off you. Do you allow him to do so?
I would suggest getting a sample from something that's not contaminated by things such as my skin. However, if you wish to take a sample of this, you can.
He reaches out with his mechanical hand and scoops away almost all of the powder. There's a small residue, well, it's not small. You had imagine a piece of powder or putty going all the way along your fingers to just where your palm starts. So it's quite a large amount. So he scraped away the majority of that, but you have still been left with residue smeared in the gap in between your two fingers and on your skin. And he takes out a small test tube from his cloak, from his robes. He opens it up and he tips out whatever it was contained. A small ball rolls onto the floor, and he puts the powder putty mess into it and closes it up. This will need to be analysed. There is no mistake of foul play here.
We'll
With the
offer
rest of
any
it, would I
aid.
be able to just scoop it up and like put it on my tongue, essentially?
It's
See
on
what
Alexa's
happens.
hand.
You could try and see if there's any more chemical.
I just sort of ask her, oh, if there's any more. Okay, I'll have a look around then.
No, you could see if there's more, like where Alexa rubbed her hand round the joint. You could see if she got it all. She might not have. Or there's what remains in her hand.
I'll just ask her if I can examine that for a second.
We lack the facilities to do any proper major testing. May I ask for a test tube of some kind in order to contain mice as the sample we have?
You did a pretty good roll before, so
If he looks like he might be
Sure.
opposed to it, I'll just kind of go, it's fine if it's of no... It's fine if you cannot do that. It's just a second sample is a second sample that could be tested.
no, you did quite a good charm roll before. He does seem like he doesn't really want to, but then he takes another vial out, opens it up, and pours something out onto the floor, and you see like this weird little metal ingot just ding 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 onto the catwalk, and he hands you the test tube. Diogenes, are you going to see if there's more chemical, or are you going to like lick what's on her hand, or
I'll try the first one, and then if not, I'll do the second one.
Okay. So you reach under the valve, like you take a knee and you like really get right the way round and wipe your finger, and you come out with like it's kind of white. It's kind of more yellowy now, like where you've rubbed the metal as well, but it is it's kind of white substance on the tip of your finger.
Kinda white.
I'll offer you any aid I am able to give you. It's better we get to the bottom of this. It seems that someone else is doing something to mess with the data.
Diogenes, make a willpower test.
And before it turns out he took fucking Trank.
I'll give you a plus 20. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see the roll before declaring, so you have got a plus 20 on there, so you do succeed.
Can I actually rule on Underworld?
You can. You
Okay.
resist the willpower to lick the substance that's on your finger. It's kind of gross
Curiosity doesn't get the better of me.
You also know it'd be very stupid when we have a sample to actually test.
You actually have a sample to actually.
I
lick.
wanted him to fail that. I really did. But it's probably better that you don't go licking shit that you find on a pipe.
Why not? It sounds healthy.
Just lick some cocaine.
But would if we had a tech apprentice come this way, they would be stopped, correct? Tech priest Jonas? But what if a tech priest came this way instead?
As you look around, you can see there are several tech priests just walking through here. Like, some of them are walking through just doing psalms and chants to the Omnisire, and like stop at pressure pipes and just start doing little chants to it and little symbolised, and then walk off.
Yeah, looking around, I feel a little bit, and then I kind of reset myself. What if one came here and then claimed to be someone else in the reports?
It could be done. It is, for one of the Order to do something like that is... It does not happen, but it could. We do not have Scatari positioned everywhere to protect systems, and it is possible.
Give me just an idle thought. It may be best that when there's a gap in his duties, we talk to the tech apprentice bonus about this situation. After all, it does not bode well for him if his rising star is possibly being party to something such as this. Dumping unknown chemicals into the water supply.
Do you wish to see him now? I can lead you there.
Did I get to see like his current duties for the day?
Yes, he's basically stationed in his laboratory. You would have seen that he basically was meant to wake up at 6 a.m, prayers to the Omnisire along with personal maintenance, eat, taking no more than 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Maintenance also includes washing and cleaning. After that, he was basically positioned in his workshop until until about 6-7 p.m, which is when he would go have nourishment, pray to the Omnisire, do more personal maintenance and reflection time, and then a few hours of personal time, which is normally spent doing maintenance on something of the Omnisires.
It will not be disruptive to his schedule or the schedule of any of the others. It may be best that we talk to him as soon as we can, but if not, we can wait.
If your data is correct, we should... Hang on, he's not that interested in this. You should investigate. I can show you to the location. It would be best if you complete your duties on Goth as quickly as possible. Yeah,
You're right.
I've got to remember, he is not that interested. He's more interested in his shit, the Omnisire, than what is going on with you guys. I'm getting sucked into what's going on. It's like, ooh.
But I am just slowly being a force of nature, sucking him into this anyway, so you'll eventually be forced to be interested.
It's like I'm a player and a GM. Ooh, what shall I do? So he leads you all down into another part of the forge complex. You move over into Delta. You go on several turbo lifts, and you even go on a small monorail that takes you over to the Delta facility, and more importantly to the lab section. Jonas leads you along. He's led you along thousands of corridors by now and different gantries, and you've walked from... You're almost sick and tired of hearing the beeps and the boops coming from tech priests and praises to the Omnisire. And you come to yet another long, bland corridor. You find it hard to... How do the tech priests work their way round this place? It's like a maze. But you're led to this corridor, and you would note that there's a doorway on either side of the corridor, about 15 meters apart. They're quite large facilities. And Jonas turns to you, and he's about to walk down the corridor when he hears a splurt of binary from behind him, and he kind of turns round and fires back binary, and it's a really screechy... your ears hurt. It's like nails on a chalkboard sound.
Is it like when I start screaming in High Gothic at people, "Do your job, the Emperor demands it"?
It sounds more like an argument, like something is... Then you look round and you notice that the tech priest that is screeching and squalling at Jonas is female. And he's got a red... his cheeks have gone a bit red, and he's screeching binary back, and he turns to you quickly and... My apologies. My partner wishes she is unappeased. Jonas Dentus's laboratory is the fifth one down on the right. I will only be a moment. And all this time you can just hear this screech of binary coming from the female tech priest behind him.
We'll try and limit our movements to there. Thank you.
My apologies. This is... And he screeches binary back. This is most embarrassing. I apologize for this breach in protocol and disruption to your productivity. And he does a very, very low bow and turns on his heel, and you just hear this appalling noise coming from his throat augmentation.
As he's going off, I'll still go to go give him the sign, the Omnisire, and then I'll just walk down to the lab, keeping an eye out.
Sure. So,
I follow.
I'm getting work out of being the leader of the group.
As you walk down to the lab,
Everything's black.
you knock on the door. Once you come to the fifth door on the right, there's very little markings to show what or who is here, until you notice there are markings on the wall, but they are very odd. They appear to be some sort of binary script, and as you go to knock on the door opens automatically. As you peer in, you can see a tech priest hard at work. He doesn't appear to notice you.
I'll just start walking in straight away. Without introducing myself.
I look to the others first and kind of tilt my head.
can I see if the tech priest does the tech priest have a utility mechadendrite? Like as I'm walking in.
He has, or at least from the side behind, he has the exact right number of augments to be Tech Apprentice bonus.
Excuse me, Tech Apprentice bonus? We're here from the Administrator investigating some strange discrepancies, and they appear to be linking to you. We did not wish to cause any alarm, so came to talk with you quietly.
I'm sorry. Why do you wish to see me? You are interrupting my work, and I have much to do.
This may end up making your work look like you've been attempting sabotage.
By the Omnisire, what? What?
It would
Sabotage?
It would appear somebody either has been using your name or other initials to give themselves access to places where they were not meant to be.
Your name's been put down as doing maintenance on an area that you should not even be allowed to access yet, and a strange sample has been retrieved from there. It should not be present.
As you look at him, he has massive bags under his eyes. His face is gaunt, and his hair is greasy and matted. I'm sorry, what? Maintenance? I'm an apprentice. I do not have that pleasure yet.
That's why we wanted to come talk to you, Garen, and make sure that you weren't involved.
I'm sorry. I am very busy. We've had a drop in productivity
While he's
that we are
talking, you just hear
trying
me
to.
typing everything.
I'm going to scrutiny him.
Our lowered productivity. We need to catch up on what we've lost. He doesn't seem to have a clue what you're on about. With your scrutiny, he seems extremely tired, but he's not lying. Is my name? Why is? Surely
you been
you would speak
overworking
to my
yourself?
master.
Tech Apprentice.
I work as the Omnisire demands. We must keep up for lost productivity. So
And more
we
productivity is lost if you do not take care of your flesh.
The weakness of the flesh can be overcome with. You hear that come from his stomach, and he focuses a little bit with the mind. The mind is all the nourishment one needs.
It only goes so far.
How long since you've slept, kid?
I'll just sort of
Sleep
read off
is-
like a Wikipedia page of like description of like. Wait, is Diogenes syndrome still a thing in 40k?
Probably not. It's probably been named something else, because that would have been lost in time.
It exists, but under a different name, and it's actually viewed as it's like a really late stage insanity disorder based on it. Like, I've just looked up Diogenes syndrome, and it's like 3 extreme insanity disorders.
I'll just sort of like describe it then, like as I'm reading off my data slate.
Lost productivity. But this lab has been working overtime when it should not be. When the rates do not appear to be getting performed properly. How are you losing productivity?
As my master said, the Omnisire forgives those who trespass against him, as long as they do so in the pursuit of the machine spirit and productivity. I will do maintenance and perform the rituals twice as hard once we have caught up with our work, although it never seems to make a dent in it.
Kid, if you need, I have a shot of stim.
I like the idea that I'm still just reading it out.
I look surprised at the Arvites that they have stim on them.
What?
You don't see me looking surprised because I have the mask on. You just
Yeah,
see
but
me
I see,
looking
but
away.
I see you suddenly looking at me rather than around me.
Please, we can discuss
We need
this.
an edge sometimes.
If I don't keep up the work rate, my master's he's gonna be annoyed. So I need to, he turns around and tries to carry on working, and you can see that there's a green light that's just turned to orange. God, I need, sorry, not God. Omnisire, already dropped. And he begins working at a quicker pace, and... Are you still here?
You need to take a break. We've been guided here to answer have these questions answered, while you are meant to be in a state of which you are not completely unfit to answer them.
Wait,
And-
you were given orders down to speak
What would
to me?
happen if every 11th word I just sort of like mumbled Inquisition and then continued speaking?
People would very quickly catch on.
Yeah,
He
this is mechanical.
he would have to do an intelligence test, probably with a -30, because he hasn't slept in 3 days.
What if I do it when I'm stood right next to him, though?
He still has to put.
He'd do an intelligence with his full.
I was gonna say he's got to try and figure out what you're trying to say.
So what you're saying is he's getting penalties.
Yeah, at the moment he's on autopilot. He's doing a job that he knows. It is a really like you look over at the work panel that he's on and what he's doing, and it baffles the living shit out of you. But when he was working, he was taking a drop from this test tube, putting it there, doing it there, moving around with incredible speed for someone
It's probably
who is
just muscle memory at this point.
exactly. Look, so hang on. You've been given orders to... He kind of looks over and he gives out an audible sigh, and he takes a thing of a pot of recaf, which as he picks it up and moves it, you can tell this thing was once full and has boiled down to like a third of a pot. It's a strong, acrid smell, and he pours it into a cup and takes a long drink.
How many cups has that been? Your productivity will suffer more if you don't take care of yourself.
Since when? Cups of recaf? What, today? Oh,
Since you
15th?
last slept.
Last slept 3 days ago. That would be 432. So, let me get this right. You're here to question me on whose orders?
As during the pause, I say it again,
The
and
administrators.
then go back into queue.
Oh, have you actually been saying the
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
While continuing to read out the description of Diogenes syndrome, or 40k version.
Okay. So he drinks the recaf, and he takes a long drink.
I'm gonna awareness
when
see if I
he's-
noticed it
when he
saying
sa-
Inquisition.
when you say, who have you been given orders? He turns around behind him, drops his cup, and Inquisition? He got a 14, by the way, on his intelligence test.
I'm gonna kind of. I'm immediately gonna take some food.
Insolent fool.
What?
I just immediately move over to Diogenes and just put my
Take-
hand over his mouth. You
What?
fool.
I continue to read, but I stopped saying the
Hand
word
off his
now.
nose.
What? You see the
While your
off his
hand's on my
mouth.
mouth.
You see the orange light turn to red. But what? How can? Why are the Inquisition here? What manner of?
Large drops in productivity that are being led towards yourself.
But why would
Quiet.
the Inquisition?
I do kind of, because I'm able to see the door, so as I see the door side, quiet, we'll discuss this in a moment.
You see the tech priest come out as his apprentice mutters, "The Inquisition," before the tech priest darts through the door and the door slams shut.
After him!
And that is where
I
we
immediately
will
dash
roll,
after
we will
him.
roll initiative.
What the?
Jazina, are you okay going? I'm not sure how long this combat will last.
I'm sorry, but I zoned out a bit due to yawning tech priest. What just happened?
Okay, we just had Diogenes going and constantly repeating the word Inquisition
Like,
like
I
every
picked up on
10th word.
Inquisition.
So
but-
here's the breakdown of what happened. I thought Juka was having a laugh when he was saying about every 7th or 11th word I'm going to put in Inquisition.
Thing is, I
I'm
didn't get
sorry,
the
I'm
chance to
sorry.
intervene.
And he
I'm
did.
sorry, this. How long have you known him for?
Oh well,
Yeah,
and
I mean, I did get.
I was just going to pass it over. I was going to be like, okay, he's having a laugh.
You've
So,
known him better than
the
longer than
conversation,
Dylan and Jim.
but
How
you didn't speak up to stop him. So
I mean, I didn't get a
True,
chance
true.
to speak up to stop him because I actually rolled away to see if I would notice, and I passed. But the conversation like quickly glossed on past it, where I could like go over and just kind of like put a hand on his shoulder and like get him to stop. Because
I decided that the tech priest, once he had had his cup of strong recaf, he got to roll. It was a GM roll, but he got a 14. If you could look on the stream and it's there. I was just going to have him glaze over it, but where it was a 14, I was just like, well, that definitely goes into his brain, and he's like, oh shit. So the light turned red for his, basically to show his efficiency had dropped. His master was going to come in, and he was like, oh. So you are now in combat time.
So we beating the shit out of a tech priest on the caffeine drive.
I know
Oh,
we're
no,
beating the shit out of
so-
his master who just fled the room.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the tech priest, no, you can't. So you can't go.
I've been
moving.
standing near the door the entire time, so
I'm
no,
so-
actually no. I moved over to Diogenes to put my hand over his mouth, so I'll be here.
I remember him saying that.
I do also remember.
He put his hand on my mouth and I said
I
that I
thought he-
kept speaking.
Yeah, I thought he was like actually like Diogenes. He meant he put his hand over the tech priest's mouth, but this is even better.
So yes, the tech priest in front of you, he basically, once he sees his master dart through the door, he sees you all ready yourselves. He drops to his knees, and just, buddy, on your side. What's going? He's almost panicking.
You are innocent of this crime. He is not.
Fuck,
Shut up,
God-
Kajo.
God damn
I'll
it.
start reading
Can
his
you
rights
see
out
my numbers? I
from my
got a
data
1
slate.
and a
yeah,
10.
and a 10.
Damn it.
I'll start reading his rights out, and the rights are he has no rights.
I was gonna say you start reading his rights. His rights.
I
are-
still have my hand over your mouth.
You have a
Yeah,
right
I know. I
to
still
do.
say it
Jazina,
though.
are you good to go for possibly an hour and a half, possibly an hour?
Hour and a half is pushing it, but
I was gonna say if we go for half an hour, and then if we've got like no sign of combat ending anytime soon, we can call it till next session or until we've all
I
got this.
can do an hour, possibly an hour and a half would be pushing it.
I actually got an hour free from work tomorrow, so I can actually, I can also
So
do that.
I'm gonna say yes for now.
Okay. So it's just I don't know how you guys will resolve combat. That's my main. You might go for the hard slug. You might go for the easy. Who knows?
Speaking of resolving combat, can someone? Yeah. Hey Jim. I hope you woke up by now. We're in combat.
What? What
Yeah.
did you
Oh,
guys
sorry,
do while I
sorry,
was away?
Well, we talked with a sleepy McSleepy tech priest, and then
Okay.
Diogenes started whispering, Inquisition, Inquisition,
By the-
Inquisition.
By the way, the Servitor's not actually got his agility bonus on his initiative, nor does the Tech Priest.
I was reading
And-
out the description for Diogenes syndrome,
Did they
and every
not?
11th word I whispered Diogenes.
No, if you mouse over, selected agility, they rolled a 1. And the other guy rolled a 10, and their stats just 1 and 10 for initiative.
I don't think I rolled one
And-
initiative right too, did I?
Because I
So-
also rolled a 1, and yeah, I got. You got your initiative, you got your bonus,
I did.
as did I.
I
If you
used
mouse-
+0.
Mouse over your thing, you should see it.
Yeah, and so, Henry, right now we have a boss of the Sleepy McSleepy on the run, and we're gonna try to apprehend him.
Okay,
Think.
so lovely. I stopped being a bodyguard for 5 seconds, and you guys are already in combat.
Duke's
But
fault.
just admit it, you fell asleep. Don't worry.
This
No,
is
no, no.
No,
I
this session one with Duca included. What did you expect? Duca always gets us into combat.
Okay,
had
so
to fix, I had to fix something to help with.
to prevent
roommates
us
also.
from going massively over time, I will have to try and. So, the servitors, one of them comes online. Please tell me thank you, you are there. Where's the door? Down there it is.
So just to be sure, we are chasing this guy, or
Yes, the
one
guy who
who's
just
gone
died through the door.
Through the door.
okay, can work with that.
The other servitor in your room does not appear to move. Eberus, it's your turn.
I need to check something. I
By the way, door
draw
closed.
my shock maul, which was clipped to my vest, and I'm just gonna run up to the tech priest.
The door shut.
Oh,
The door slammed behind him.
okay. Is there any way I can open it? Yeah, it would be for next
Yes.
turn because this is basically my full move.
Oh yeah, you ran up there, so
Like run,
okay.
run, not full move, run.
You ran up there, so that's your turn. Ghost.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm also gonna run up to the door.
Okay. Diogenes. Diogenes. It is your turn.
I know you chose a name after a Greek philosopher, but I can just keep thinking about Captain Diomedes.
Commander Boreal here.
Steady yourself, brother.
So Diogenes, what is your action? What will you do?
So I go, yeah, I'm currently in a state of, god damn it, I can't use Inspire on you guys.
Why?
I'm not the
Can I
leader.
roll Tactica Imperialis to try and come up with a good idea for this combat?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, fate. I'm fating that. Oh wait,
I'm just-
no, I rolled with Fellowship instead of Intelligence. I
It's
still
still
failed,
shit.
so.
Yeah, you still would have failed even if you had rolled it with your highest stat.
You get a fate?
So, you cry out for your idea of open the door. You have half an action left.
Can I roll it again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just turn
Wait, why
around.
did I
and
ever
look at it
need-
and just-
Fellowship Tactica Imperialis. Or Agility Medicae.
Agility Medicae when you gotta like do the really, really finicky surgery on the guy who's like about to fall off. or you're doing
Yeah,
something
that
that's
wouldn't really help you in this situation. With the knob! Open the door with the knob!
Baiting that again.
Little did he know that this door did not have a
Wait,
knob.
Satan? Oh, you Satan.
Okay.
How many rolls are you? How
No, so
many rerolls do you
I'm
have?
letting him do a skill for a half action. So he's used up his full turn thinking.
Okay.
So you quickly think to yourself, you're in a forge, doors won't have door handles. You turn and you look at the tech apprentice. I need to get him to open the door.
Can I shout this?
You can shout it at him if you want, but currently he's not on the combat. He's not on the turn type. He's not on the initiative tracker because he's cowering and doesn't know what to do. And that's technically your turn. So you can tell your allies, you know, we need to get him to open the door.
You need to open the door. And then I sort of expect him to do it while I'm pointing at him.
He does not. He looks at you just in fear and like just in shock. And
You need to open the door or die.
the boogeyman has come and he's knocking on his bloody door.
You know, that's probably a hit in our subtlety that's not gonna recover. Also, this guy isn't an enemy, right? He's
No,
passive.
he's not an enemy. He's currently not in a fetal position. He's on his knees, cowering.
What
And
about
that
this?
servitor has not moved yet. Yeah,
Why
it's
does
not
it look
activated.
like from the map that our mark is running into a dead end?
Honestly,
Because
then
you
I'm
guys
definitely-
were in front of the door.
Fair enough. You know what time it is. Oh, I was waiting for this.
So Amanda, what is your action?
I'm just gonna run here because
You're all running to the door. Okay, cool.
actually no, I'm gonna run. Can I actually go back? It was here, right? Let me
Yep.
check.
Mine was just a full move, so now run.
I actually had to use my run.
I'm actually gonna run here, so that if the servitor does come after someone, the servitor will come after me and not the other two.
Sure. Okay. It's now the. Oh, actually, Alexa. What's your agility bonus?
3.
Sorry, not your bonus. Your overall.
Oh, 34.
You go first.
That's good, because I'm gonna go, open the door! Can I command this guy to open the door using my superior position? He thinks I'm Inquisition.
You can command him. You can have a +10 to that command roll. With a 0-4. Tech Priest bonus kind of comes to his senses and is yes, sure, yeah, right away. Why are they not adding on their bonuses for some reason?
Are you sure you're not rolling custom initiative?
No, he's rolling regular initiative, and for some reason their agility bonus
Jesus,
isn't working.
lovely loud music.
It might just be that their actual agility's not working properly. or something.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about the music. I will turn that down. That's come through very loud on my headset as well.
Also, I can't fit in this situation. It's just going from I'm gonna better this up to Duca started acting.
Yeah, this is again going to be one of those campaigns where mine and Duca's character are at odds, as per usual. And although this time I'm actually a bit of a sociopathic psychopath, so I might actually decide to kill him this time.
Meanwhile, me, I am the Inquisition.
So he now comes onto the initiative tracker. Oh, yep. No, sorry, I've got to pass up. It's okay because it was 2. Why did he go above you? What?
I think it's because he's probably not got a name, and it's do it in space technically comes before A in the alphabet. It's
Does
dumb,
he
but
have
that's how
higher
it works.
agility? Like not bonus, but just the stat.
Okay,
Yeah.
so anyway, he is now on the tracker. That was a half action. No, it's a full action, isn't it, to use command?
To use command to inspire, it's full action, but then I'd be able to buff friends. I need to check if command's full action normally. No, it's a half action for simple commands.
Okay, so you have a half action left.
Fuck. I mean, I could draw my chain weapon, but yeah.
I wonder if me and Jay met in real life, he'd kill me or not.
That's an interesting question to ponder.
I possibly could, but I'm not going to, because in real life I am not that much of an evil psychopath. Not as much.
I'm gonna draw my chain blade, but I'm gonna be clearly holding it in like a. I'm not going to attack someone. It's for defense.
Okay, cool.
Because
When
I
you
don't
said I
want to
possibly could, I dropped my fidget spinner.
So
Let's find my fidget spinner.
you ready your weapon.
You are aware you're talking to a black belt karate teacher.
Yeah.
She does know.
I'm gonna be ready, but not threatening. Because when someone inevitably comes to the door, it's gonna be a case. I wasn't trying to kill the guy, and then I have to explain the situation.
He does a half move and does something that you can't see. You do hear it though.
What does it sound like?
The servitor in your room begins to twitch.
Oh shit.
So, Tech Priest bonus. Seeing that the door is shut, he is going to... Oh, bloody hell. Okay, he's going to have to do a full run to get over to the Cognite panel. And he doesn't have an action to try and stop the servitor. So he just gets there and prepares. The servitor's turn. Goody. So they have a charge range of 6. And that's 4. So
Come at me, fiend.
combat servitor. Yeah. So he does a charge attack. You would note that this is a utility servitor.
Yep.
So no guns.
They can still hit pretty hard. They just don't really have a good chance to hit you.
And I'm gonna be honest, I
Do-
forgot to actually
you do
take
get-
parry, but
You do get a +10 for a single attack with a charge, don't you?
No. Charge is its own attack.
Charge is +20, but it's a full action.
And that's it?
Yeah, just
No
plus
other,
20.
no other.
No.
Okay, cool.
No, in
You-
that say you still select single attack.
No,
Unless you-
no,
No, it
char-
says
you
charge.
select charge.
Okay,
You can't aim
so
a charge. Big
just-
thing a charge though is
I
so
was
many
just getting
stacks.
the characters. See, I was being a clever GM. I was getting the characters to admit it. So now, 1, I don't have to kill our friend here, and 2, they get a +20 later on, and he misses. So that's his turn. Fortunately, Erebus, it is your turn.
Have the doors opened yet?
No.
In which case, I am going to yell, "Surrender yourself, criminal scum!" And I'll attempt intimidate
On who?
The guy open.
on the tech priest that is currently behind the door.
I will just, before you roll, you want to try and intimidate someone through a door so you can't see them, they cannot see you. There will
Willpower rather than strength, probably.
there'll be minuses, at least a -10.
You're not like me. You can't make something so loud you can be heard over the artillery fire.
I will attempt, so intimidate willpower, right?
Sure, -10. That will be a half action. I'll just call all skills half actions from now on, unless you're going to use command to break.
I'm going to re-roll that with Face of the Law.
Okay, does that put a -10 onto it?
No. An arbitrator can re-roll an intimidation and interrogation test and can substitute his willpower for the bonus for degrees of success. So I still have
Okay.
to succeed before I can substitute, but I succeed. That is how many degrees of success? 2.
That's 2.
So that's exactly my willpower bonus.
You have a terrible willpower bonus.
Yeah, I have 25 willpower.
So how's intimidate opposed? 'Cause it would be
Willpower, I think. Give me a
Let
it
me
sounds
check.
like it would be a willpower.
Skills.
I think it'd be a willpower, to be honest with you. Well, so I'll tell you what. I will no, because I was going to give you a -10. He's getting a +10 because it's through a wall.
It's a full action.
Also, Yazina did take the -10.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay, cool.
Why when Intimidate is used against an opponent, such as to frighten him into doing the character's bidding, it is an opposed test. Intimidate is opposed by willpower.
Okay, so he gets 2 degrees of success.
So that's a draw.
So that's a draw. And yeah, that was a full action.
That was a full action. Intimidate is full action.
Ghost, it
Okay.
is your turn.
Can I open this door because he slammed it shut behind him? Can I just open it again?
Well, no one even asked what the door looked like, so I'll tell you now. It's a steel sealed door. It's designed to keep chemicals from spreading out.
So
of
it's
their...
a bulkhead.
Yeah, it's a serious piece of kit. You're not going to be able to just kick it down.
Yeah, is there a button that I can open it with?
No.
Okay. In that case, draw a pistol and start aiming at the servitor.
Okay. Oh, hang on. You've got... So you drew your pistol, you aimed, couldn't you fire?
Draw half action, aim half action? Unless he has to quick draw.
Well, half action
don't
draw,
think-
half action fire.
Yeah, but also
If
half
you get
action
to
aim. I'm saving up for a full aim.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's a combat.
No, fair enough then. Amanda.
How does... I've never actually hit anybody with melee.
Okay.
I'm going to half aim. Standard attack. Yeah. And... yeah.
The alternative is you can take no bonuses and instead do a guard. I think it's a guarded attack where you take a -10 instead of any bonuses, but get a +10 to all evasion tests.
Nah, I'm good.
It does
Good.
not have parry or dodge, so by all means, roll your... So 12 rending. This doesn't tell you what the... So to the 95, which is, I believe, the left leg. Yes, it is the left leg.
Yes.
So 12 rending. So it goes down to 9 because of his machine... Yep, his 3 machine armor. It goes down to 6 for his toughness, so he takes 6 damage.
I just want to chop off his legs. Okay, that's my action.
Cool. Diogenes. You have a servitor, which is now attacking Amanda. The tech priest is at the cognate, waiting to do something.
You'll also know he was just ordered to open the door.
Are
Very
there
well.
any interfaces I can do anything with? As a man with a high IQ who watches Rick and Morty.
Not really. This is a Mechanicus area. It's very alien to you. You could do an awareness check, and I could give you information for later on, or you can take out a weapon and shoot the bloody thing.
Like I said, he has tech use, right?
Fuck, I forgot tech use. God damn it. Not enough XP.
Hey, I don't have enough XP to actually pick up Intimidate.
Don't think the Tactical Imperialis would really do anything else.
Not really. You know that the door needs to be opened. You know
Get him.
that there's no door handle, so the tech priest is kind of sorting that on his next turn.
Get in position to shoot the runaway, or get in position to help fight the servitor off.
I'm gonna go over to this guy just in case he does something stupid. You never know.
Even though he's absolutely terrified of Alexa now.
Well, you kind of inspired more than terrified, so he's like thinking, no, they're the one. They're not after me. They're after someone else. Just I haven't done anything wrong. Just do your job and help them.
They won't execute me.
Yeah.
So he's terrified of my position, not of me. Although I don't actually have any real position at the moment. Anybody asks, I'm acting as a member of the ecclesiarchy.
So you move over to there and keep an eye on what he is doing. Alexa, what would you like to do with your 2 actions?
First, if it's not going to take... Even if it takes up an action or not, I'm going to microbead Quinn. There appears to be a situation, and Dantas has started trying to run these set servitors on us. But Bonus has been overworked and seems to be innocent.
I will inform the Scutari. They will be there soon. You hear another screech of binary as he says that. He's clearly not out of his argument.
Thank you.
Your message has been passed.
Just shout, fuck your argument, we're gonna die.
You can't hear this.
Oh.
And then, I guess, I'm gonna do a full move to get into a position to charge later. Just need to check how far away it is for me to charge. There we go.
How does attacking with 2 weapons work? Do you have to
You have
need
2
to
weapon
have
wielder.
the 2-weapon wielder and
So,
the actions to not have any negatives, right?
no. Then you also need to have 2 weapon master. That gives you no
yeah,
negatives.
that-
You go to a negative 20 on your offhand, negative 10 on your main hand. Ambidextrous makes it minus 10 on both hands, and then combat master is negative on all.
Yeah. Ambidextrous simply means that if your right arm's hurt, you can't use it to normally be right-handed. You can still
no.
use your left hand, but still.
The
equal
Dark
to-
Heresy does it weird in that it's just literally mechanically only affects if you use 2 weapon wielder.
Yeah, that's why Magnus would swap between using 1 weapon or 2 weapons. If I wanted the bonus, or if I didn't, you could do it with a melee weapon and a ranged weapon.
But yeah, both attacks actually take minus 20.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, I thought it was the other one. Okay, never mind. So, Tech Priest moved. Bonus takes 1 action, opens the door. The door is now open. Second action, he is going to try and stop the servitor from...
He was supposed to open the damn door.
He did.
We did.
Half
He's now
action,
trying to stop
open the
the
door.
Good.
And then half action, take control.
He's now technically trying to do what's an override
Okay.
against his master.
So he's attempted it. He got a 0-12. His master does it. Actually, I need to take a tick off you, because amazingly, the master is not as good as the apprentice.
We kind of figured that.
The servitor that is fighting Amanda goes dead. But he does spurt out quickly. This is all I can do to hold it back. And he appears to not be able to take any more actions. So I will remove him from the tracker.
Once he says that, it's just, that's fine. Keep holding it off.
Servitor, that one goes dead. It is inert. You can see its shoulders kind of slunched down, and it actually, yeah, sure, it will almost topple over. Amanda gives it a kick as it does so, and it falls prone.
Shoot dash.
The other one. Hang on, that wasn't one. Or maybe it was. Yeah, 1, 2. Actually, these were really slow, aren't they? I think a full move is, 4. Eberus, it is your turn. The servitor in your room is now down, or powered down. The door is open.
Damnation. I'm gonna just run up to the tech priest.
You're gonna run?
Actually, what is my... Yeah, I'm out of charge range by a meter.
Do you even have your weapons out yet?
He does.
Yes,
Ah,
I
okay.
do have
I was
my
gonna say,
shotgun.
you sure you want to run? He gets bonus to hit you.
If I'm running,
Gives a bonus to weapon skill test.
whatever.
At least you're not officially in combat yet, so I can shoot the dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run up to the tech priest. Ghost, it is your turn.
I see the servitor just power down, and I just instinctually, immediately auto pistol. The arm moves before my head does, and I shoot at the tech priest the moment the door opens, essentially.
Okay, go ahead.
I am going to re-roll that.
I was about to say, what were you firing it on?
There we go, headshot.
So, the tech priest is going to dodge. Or at least try to. He does not. Roll your damage, please.
Okay, so you literally just see me, as I just described, the moment the door opens, Cerberus has run past, you just see my arm move before my head does and just pull the trigger. And just straight into his head.
You see the bullet fly out, and he turns round, failing his dodge. It looks like it's going to go straight into his forehead as he kind of topples a bit more, and it catches the top of his hood and fires out the back. You see a small trickle of blood run down his head, but
Behind my mask, I'm smiling.
We need him alive.
Yes, does not mean I do not.
It dies, leads end here.
Very well.
Amanda, it is your turn.
This servitor in front of me is dead, basically, so I'm going to run over to here. So here, and that's my full move.
Okay.
I'm gonna be-
Diogenes, it is your turn. Diogenes.
Joker.
Hello?
It's your turn.
Please, mister. Mister, will you please take your turn? Please, just do your actions, will you, mister? I'm
Yeah.
afraid that's not working, mister.
Not working.
That servitor is dead. It is powered down. Its muscles stationary and relaxed, and you do not hear any pistons or whirring sounds coming from it. But the door is open.
As I said, do you mind me putting some text on it to show that it's dead?
Or just like an X.
I'll put a skull and crossbones on him.
I'm just going to put DED. To represent Duca's current intelligence.
Ah, there we go. Put a red cross on. I didn't realise I could do that. Marvellous. There you go.
I think I'll stay with this guy. I don't want to go to combat, man. I don't trust my own character.
You don't trust your character? Think about the luck I've had with my character so far. They're gonna die.
Yeah, your character is good, but mine's a bit when it comes to combat, at least.
So, do you choose to not charge into glorious combat? Do you allow two of your allies to see you whimper and cower, and pass up your turn?
I'll half action draw blast pistol. Or the half action get distracted by something he might see as information on the monitor. Actually, I'll wear this.
There we go.
So he draws his. Ooh, nope, you don't see nothing. I thought you got a 9, but no. You draw your pistol and you look about. Alexa, you see the person that you met before this encounter. Draw a pistol, and it looks like he's looking around to prepare himself to charge.
Make sure that the tech priest doesn't go down. Or the apprentice, rather. If bonus falls, that servitor will go out of control. We don't need to fight a battle on 2 fronts. And then, can I try and inspire the group?
Sure, you can try and inspire them.
Because technically they're not my subordinates, but I've effectively been acting as the leader for this entire time.
I count the inspire as your allies.
Okay, because there's actually a talent for that.
Because that's using the. Is that?
Oh no,
using
that's terrify.
Is that using the your special ability as a?
No, my special ability is I can spend fate to get hatred on something.
Oh, you want to use the command ability, inspire?
Yeah,
is that
inspire.
right?
Oh no, wait, it's allies. It does actually count allies, not actual minions, like terrify is.
Yeah. So yeah, you by all means you can do that. I believe it's either your willpower bonus or your fellowship bonus worth of allies.
So my entire group, if I pass this, it's a full action. I think I'll fate it. Nope. He doesn't want that.
Unfortunately, your Voxhaler just cuts out, and the words are a little bit garbled, and your allies can't quite hear.
But Loudhailer starts trying to activate as I'm like trying to keep my voice down. It's like no. So I cut myself off mid-sentence. It's like take him alive for the.
Just booms out, Emperor! The whole room shakes, the glass shakes around.
Must resist urge to spend fate point to gain hatred.
The
It's a
tech
sign.
priest, he has in his hand, actually, did he have... He probably didn't have enough turns, actually, because he did a full move, he doesn't have quick draw, so he pulls a chain axe from out of his belt, and he swings at... Well, it's going to be a Burris, I think. So
You don't get to attack me, you cannot pronounce my name.
Erebus, yes I can.
Erebus.
Erebus. It says Erebus. Erebus.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
With a 0
shit.
1.
Watch me fail this roll. What did I tell you?
Why'd you dodge? Don't you parry?
My weapon skill was worse.
Yeah, but your parry, if you've got parry, it'll be higher than your target.
No.
as he cries out, "For the
No,
Omnisire, you must die!" And oh, holy shit, that's 14.
Roll it again.
Yeah,
it's-
no,
no, it's already done it.
rending roll. It's
No, it's
terrible.
Rending doesn't mean tearing.
Chain X has tearing though.
Yeah, chain weapons have tearing.
Oh yeah, it does actually. Sorry. Oh,
So you
Yep.
might want to
Just-
update his character. Once you've rolled it again, you might want to update his thing to 2d10 KH1
Okay, so 14 pen 2.
to the brain pan.
It's still the same.
I'm just doing a test.
So,
No, you've got to put 2d10 and then just after the d10 KH1
2.
like that, or all one word rather. If you look at my chain blade
so
on
it's
my character sheet,
2d10. Then it's hang on,
You
but
know
where do you put the +4 then? Because normally it's
afterwards.
so it's
You look at my chain blade of my character sheet, I've got it.
okay. Yep. No, I'll copy it from yours. That'll
so
probably-
I'm on 3 HP right now.
You actually survived?
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell!
Light
Ooh.
carapace plus my 3 toughness. That's 8 armor.
Your character's tankier than I thought.
No, wait. Wait, I counted it wrong. God, sorry. Math's hard. So, I'm sorry. Never mind, I'm on precisely 0. I'm not out, but I'm on 0 HP.
There we go.
Yeah, now
Nice
it's
one.
rolling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, bloody good job. It wasn't that one.
Yep.
Well, actually, yeah. So that is his turn. Unfortunately, now it is the servitor's turn, and it decides to do its attack on Amanda, who has run into melee range.
Yep. I came here to because
I'm going to be fair. I'm going to say these are not combat servitors. They do not have the ability to aim.
I mean, go on. I
But
don't
it does
mind.
but it does do a standard attack with a +20 because you ran to it.
Yep. See, I'm not even worried.
And it.
The God Emperor protect.
Eberus. Go on.
You know what?
Erebus.
I have a death
Erebus.
wish. I'm gonna all out.
Erebus. Erebus, you might as well because your target to dodge is kind of crappy.
39.
So the tech priest can dodge. He does have that ability. And it
Please
was
don't dodge, please don't dodge, please
it
don't dodge.
was just his turn, so
Fuck.
It was nice knowing you, Erebus.
I mean, I kind of have a backup ready, so.
Ghost, it is your turn.
Idiots. I put away my pistol and I take my chainsword from my back, start revving it up. Now this is where the fun begins.
If you give me a sec, I think you do that as one action.
I think putting a weapon away is a half action as well.
Half put
No.
Is
away.
you can drop it for free.
Yeah, but I'm putting it away.
Okay. So you'll put away your pistol and draw your chainsword. Was
Yes.
it your chain? Okay. Amanda.
I have a regular sword that's good quality and a chainsword on my back. I'm drawing the chainsword. This requires more violence than just the simple application of force.
A servitor swung out at you with a servo fist.
Here's the thing though, looking at the other guy, does he look closer to dead?
Both of them look pretty healthy. In fact, both of them, both of them. The servitor has a tiny little wound. Oh,
I'm
hang
gonna
on.
go
No,
for
no,
it.
the tech priest should have a tiny little wound, and the servitor should be fine. I accidentally put that in the wrong.
I'm just gonna have fame. Standard. Not actually. Yeah, standard attack. And I'm gonna swing for the. Yeah, servitor. Servitor is fine. Oh, I'm gonna use 1 point.
You're gonna
I
fate
have
it.
Knight's
3.
Edge.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm gonna fade it. I have 3. This is my first edge lord.
You're an edgelord with 3? I have 4. Again.
Shush! I never have had anything over 2. Much better.
The servitor cannot dodge or parry.
Are you using the assassin power?
Okay, so you
Assassin,
do.
I'm a crusader. 3 damage, I believe.
Yep. Little bit of damage. I mean, in its overall HP, you've done at least 30%.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Diogenes, what are you going to do?
What kind of noises do I hear coming from next door?
Ah!
No shouting. It's just chain of metal. It's a gritty mentally grunts.
You'd hear the munching of carapace as a chain axe cuts against it, and then the of one of your comrades as they grit their teeth against something eating into their flesh.
Okay, that's my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone should have had a plus. Oh no, sorry, you failed your. I thought everyone had a plus 10, and I've completely forgot it then.
I don't even have a chance to do that again, because I need to get in before my friend dies. Need to check my run distance.
At the very least, there's no more plus 20 for running into combat.
Yeah, I'm not
Erebus
doing.
is not a good combat character, in case you haven't noticed.
There we go. That was my full turn. I ran.
You still haven't figured out how to do that.
Press space.
It is the tech priest's turn. So he's too intelligent and he knows about some tactics. He wouldn't change his target. I am sorry.
Fair. You just made I die. It's just the way the cookie
He
crumbles.
does a half aim, a standard attack, and that's it. With a 0-8. You can't dodge because you did an all-out
No, I
attack.
cannot.
15 2 to the 80, which is your right leg, I believe. Isn't 88 your left?
Okay, so this is a problem.
What minus are you in?
I take 10 damage.
What page is
I'm finding
critical?
critical effects rending.
My total HP is 9.
You're gonna have to thingy.
Yeah,
Or you can just die.
I'm honestly not sure if I want to fate burn.
Fatigue,
Okay,
injury,
critical effects rending leg. Where did you go to? -9?
critical damage.
Minus 10.
Oh shit! As above, except the tide blow so intense that the. Okay, with a meaty chop, the leg comes right at the hip. The target pitches to the ground, howling in agony before dying. Page 242. This, as above, but with 10 plus, it accepts that the blow is so intense that for the remainder of the encounter, any character makes a run or charge action within 6 meters of the corpse must also make a challenging 0 agility test or be knocked prone.
Eberus, do you choose to burn a fate and continue on with your journey
No,
within the Inquisition?
no.
Like fight.
I'm not gonna.
Amanda, Alexa and Ghost, you watch as the tech priest brings in his chain axe, revving it furiously, and swings it to the side as it crashes into the abdomen of your fellow party member. The chain blade roars and rips into his gut. He holds his grit and bites down. Not a sound comes out until you hear a splash and you see guts and entrails hit the floor. Eberus, is there a final word you'd like to say as you grit your teeth and try for one last stand?
Thou will be judged.
Before the light fades from your eyes, the tech priest looks deep into yours. Only the Omnisire can judge me. And he pulls his chain axe through, decapitating you from your legs as you fall. And the life.
Decapitating me from my legs. That is an interesting image.
Yeah, that is weird because decapitation specifically.
Yeah. And on that note,
The light
I would have to
fades
scamper.
from your eyes.
Yeah, see you, Xena.
See you later.
Good night, guys.
I will
Yeah,
see you next.
bit earlier, but
I'll see you
have a-
sooner so that we can go through your other character.
Yep, no worries. Take care.
Yeah,
night, guys.
See ya, dude.
I was just thinking,
Yeah,
considering
right.
he's dead for the moment, we could technically finish this in the Warhammer Fantasy session.
No, because Jim's not here.
Oh yeah, it's Jim that's the
It's-
thingy, isn't it?
Yeah, I have classes in the middle of the session.
I'll just go back to you tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah,
See ya.
yeah, man. Get back to me once you've got an idea for your next character, and we'll.
Also,
bring
you
in-
might want to draw a 6-meter cube that says blood. He just coated the nearest 6 meters in blood.
So there's now a pool of blood. Hot diggity damn.
Oh god, my character's response to the blood is gonna be stupid, but I have to make it because it's in character. Fuck! I'm on the
That's,
big
that's too big. Hang
background.
on.
Damn, that's some demonic blood.
That's way too big. Right.
That's
Can
boiling,
I go,
by the
can
way,
I go
too.
back one? Yes, I can. That's still too big, isn't it? 6 meters. So 6 squares. That's better. Or is that still too big?
I was gonna say it's within 6 meters of the corpse. So it's not 6 meters round it, no, it's 6 meters away from it.
It's like so.
Yeah, I'm still stood where the blood is. It's that bad.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I will just say this is the first character that I've actually, like, killed with on purpose the character didn't want. You know, like, Jazina didn't come into this game like, I'm a bit like, holy shit, this wasn't meant to happen.
I mean, the only thing I tell you is try not to enjoy it too much.
No, I just, to be honest with you, I feel a bit bad. Because it wasn't meant to happen. There wasn't meant to be a death in the second episode.
Yeah, anybody who wants to charge or run across this now needs to make an agility test or be knocked prone.
The Servitor makes its attack. I really hope it misses. No, I honestly just wanted it to be epic enough for a character to die. That's all. Oh, for crying! With a 0-4, would you like to parry or dodge, Miss
I
Amanda?
will parry it because I have a plus 25 because of my sword and shield.
Exact opposite scenario of the demon fight. We're
And
living it
with a
now.
0-4, you
I don't even
Oh,
have parry.
Beautiful. You don't actually have it.
No.
No, that's the glory of a shield. You don't need to be good at parrying to parry.
Good point.
Yep. I forgot to actually pick parry.
The best part is I have parry. I get a plus 10 to parry if I spend a fate point.
Ghost, it is your turn.
Yeah, diabetes. Also, tech priest, are you trying to
Technically,
make me
the
thirsty?
tech priest is technically out of combat.
Yeah, but I put away my gun.
A agility test is needed if you want to charge over there.
Oh no, I am just... Actually, I have quite good agility, so... And he is within my charge range. So could you please move Erebus's token a bit so I don't get stuck behind it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm stuck behind Erebus's token now.
Can you
There we
give me a agility test to see if you can make it over there?
Okay. Okay. Fuck.
Nope, you're down.
So you fall prone. I am going to be nice and say you fall prone over here.
Why don't you slide though?
Well, so here's the issue. I can either screw you over by having you fall prone next to him where he can attack you, or you go away where he can't just charge you. The only problem is this does fuck over Amanda. Oh dear.
It's fine, it's fine.
Nah,
Remember.
things are about to change.
So Ghost, you fall prone. Amanda.
I'm like... I am like... Shit, now I am thirsty.
You are covered in an arbite.
I'm gonna go for the Sahoda first because
Being covered in
It
blood of
is.
arthritis makes me thirsty. Do you have
So-
problem with that? I could easily resolve the problem you have with that.
oof, another fate point is going to be used. Because I need to actually beat this asshole and not fight 2-on-1 without the actual perk for it. Much better.
It
Oh, you
cannot
had
dodge
whirlwind.
or parry.
If only you had Whirlwind of Death, you'd have been attacking everybody.
No.
And not a good. That's just 1 damage, but it's fine.
It's not 40% of its health is down at this rate. It's not looking good.
No, we're about to have backup come in.
Like the song, I will survive.
Okay, Duka, what are you gonna do? And he's not in melee combat, by the way.
I'll shoot. Half aim. Is it short range? Am I
What's
able to do
your-
that?
13,
full
I
thing?
believe it is. Oh, sorry, 14.
I've got the line already drawn for Duka.
Yeah. Short, standard, no other bonuses. Ah,
The tech priest can... No, wait, he attacked, and then, yeah, he can dodge, I believe.
Yeah, no, but I haven't attacked him yet. I attacked the servitor and he just killed
He
Erebus.
failed to dodge, so... Roll damage, please.
Going for the arm. The right arm in particular.
You see some damage go through to the tech priest as you shoot him in the arm. Why will you not open up your other? There we go. You see some damage go through as it burns through his Mechanicus robes.
I spent a
Alexa,
fate
you're
point
up.
to gain hatred. So specifically, the bastard who just killed my friend.
Sure, I will let you have hatred tech priest Dante. Dant.
I
And
mean,
then-
can you actually get that?
Fanatic lets me spend a fate point to get hatred on someone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, technically it's hatred mechanicus at the moment, but I'm specifically trying to target it at this asshole.
Yeah, as am I. You've been in a Mechanicus forge, and there's a Mechanicus behind you, like trying
It
to help you
immediately
guys.
fails the minute combat ends. Like, it's literally only for this combat I get hatred the foe.
He's very
But
lucky
yeah.
that the wall is where it is.
He really is. But I'm gonna move. Unfortunately, I can either charge him, which is bad because I have to make it an agility test, or I can just move into combat. I full move and have movement left. Can I use the remaining movements so I'm in melee combat with him? I have like 2 meters left.
Yeah,
If not, it's fine.
I will say that you are in melee combat with him.
Because I was moving in with the express intention of engaging him in glorious melee combat.
Yeah, sure. The Tech Priest. You moving into combat, he is going to swing at you. So he doesn't get the ganging up bonus on Amanda. In fact, I'm going to say that the ferocity of his own attack against Eberus caused him to not be able to aim for this turn. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Seriously,
Please dodge.
it's fine. And who are you attacking?
Nope,
God,
I don't have
damn
a fate point. So I can't even re-roll it, because we didn't refresh fully.
As I said, exact opposite of demon fight.
I'm gonna die here. I can already tell you I'm gonna die here.
You can
Because
have one of my backups if you need.
I can burn a fate point, but I need to quickly do some maths. So let's see. Where's that? That's torso. I knock off 5 damage. I'm on 1 wound, and I'm taking critical from this.
So what does that put you on?
I'm on 1 wound left.
Oh, thank fuck.
But he gives me critical damage because Righteous Fury. Unless he doesn't have Righteous Fury applied to him.
For this time, this dude is not getting Righteous Fury because I cannot kill any more characters in... No. He will not get Righteous Fury. We'll move on.
Give in to the dark side. Give in.
Make this just the opposite of the demon fight, because that's what it is turned into.
But yeah, chain weapons are nightmarish because they've got twice the chance of Righteous Fury every other weapon does.
Mm-hmm.
The Servitor misses.
Any weapon with tearing does. It's even worse if you're facing something like an Eviscerator, because they have 3 times the amount of chance.
Yeah, the only thing that's more crazy is a Force weapon, because I actually looked it up and they do get Righteous Fury on Force.
Ghost, it is your turn.
Nice. Okay. First action, stand up. Second action, okay.
Cool.
That was not the correct measurement. It did something weird. Yeah, that's where I'm supposed to move.
Cool. Amanda, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go after the servitor again. Because I actually, instead of going for a stun, I'm gonna try a swift attack.
You know, you get a... Ooh.
Swift attack it is now.
Do you have the skill to allow you to do swift attacks in melee?
You need a talent for it.
Yeah, there is a talent for swift attack.
Then I don't. Then just count that as a standard attack.
Yeah, I will, because I don't believe there's any difference in the degrees. Anyway, the Servitor
No,
can't
there's 1
dodge.
degree more.
Well, the Servitor can't
Yeah, it
dodge,
would
sure.
be even.
So, roll your damage.
Again, 7.
Can you swap his degrees of success?
No, because I hit with 4.
No, you hit with 5, because you would have had another plus 10 for the standard attack.
Standard attack is plus 1 damage?
No, because you did a standard attack, you would have had an extra plus 10 to your target, so it would have been
No,
62.
Yeah, but what I meant is my hit was 4
Oh
plus
yeah,
3.
yeah. You can't do it because it wasn't
so
a
I
1.
can't.
Yeah. So 1 damage done. So I will tell you now: if you killed the tech priest, the servitor shuts down.
But I want the silver.
I know you want the kill, but I mean, your party's in danger of
I
like
know.
being
I'll
decapitated.
switch. I'll switch targets around. Fine.
Diogenes, yeah, your party. You hear a lot of shouting, a lot of grunting, and a bit of slip and sliding, and a kadum.
Duca, push the top maybe. He's in melee combat now, by the way.
Nah, what else can I do? I think I'll shoot again.
Okay, that's a -20 for shooting into combat.
Please don't fail by 1 degree. Oh, thank God.
Your las gun is reliable, so it jams on a like 98 or a 97, something like that. So
If you fire a normal ballistic, like a standard shot, it jams on a 96 or more for standard shots, and then reliable, like it's even less than that. It's like only on 100.
So you miss, but you don't hit anyone. You don't hit anything. You hit the door, which is impressive considering it's behind the wall. Alexa.
Trick shot.
Let's attack an asshole. So that's half aim. Standard attack +10 for hatred.
He will use up his dodge and hopefully fail. He did. So that was to the 23, which I believe is the left arm.
Yeah, it's left arm.
Okay, left arm. So he takes a sizable chunk into his arm, and you see a lot of blood begin to pool out. It was his left arm, wasn't it? Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay, now that you're in combat with him, and I should have brought this up before, his right arm is a really, really good right arm. His arm is, you would almost say it was excellent, but it's not quite. But its filigree does suggest that it would be. And what was his total HP? Yeah, okay.
Where does everyone think of my upsides and downsides?
The tech priest grunting and squealing in pain. Yeah, at this point would, I do what I must for the Omnissire's love. I will not be forgotten. You cannot stop this. And he attacks Alexa. And
What was your name again?
misses.
You'll be remembered a traitor and a fool.
The servitor.
Okay, I tried to give him sass, you just actually fucking...
The Emperor is on my side. As he comes down and misses. I'm a fanatic here.
With a 0-1, would you please parry or dodge, Miss Amanda?
I will try to parry because I also don't have dodge.
I am literally just now in my head like, idiot Arbeitis, idiot Rorotas, idiot tech priests. Everyone's an idiot.
Ah, thank you.
In all fairness, I'm not doing it to prove I'm an idiot.
Don't worry, Amanda doesn't scream anything. She does you know in tennis when people grunt when they're hitting the thing, she just grunts every now and then when she's hitting someone.
Yeah, she doesn't consider you an idiot. She does consider the one that's shouting religious shit.
Ghost, it is your turn.
Amanda is completely focused on combat, not spouting stuff.
Okay, I am just going to silently just like swiftly move next to Alexa and just bring the chainsaw down on him.
He cannot dodge, so you only need to hit. And he's down about 80% HP.
There we go.
So roll your damage, sir. As, let me do the maths quick.
Enough of this nonsense. Your cybernetics can be put to better use.
A mighty attack takes a sizable chunk out of the target, knocking him to the ground as he clutches and the wound oozes. Shrieking in pain, the target is knocked prone, suffers blood loss, and suffers D10 toughness damage. So he is currently prone, screaming, clutching as you look at your chainsword and it holds a chunk of flesh in its blades. And he's suffering blood loss, so that will be fine.
I move the chainsword closer to my face, and then I look at the other two that's standing near me, and I move it back away from my face again. And I just then turn my chainsaw to the tech priest. Sit down. If you get up, I will not be so kind as to let you live again.
Amanda, it is your turn to attack the servitor.
Do we need him alive?
Man's not. He
Yeah.
dies.
I thought I was the bloodthirsty one.
I'm asking because, out of character, I don't really remember if we need this guy alive because
You
Hey,
he
don't,
wasn't here.
out of character, you were told to bring back prisoners, to bring people back to be questioned, and not to upset the Mechanicus.
Yeah, I'm not, I think we're upsetting
You
the
can
mechanics.
roll
I'm
in-
not gonna.
You can roll your character's intelligence to see if they would remember it if you do want to kill him, but it's up to you.
I'm just gonna kill the server. I was still engaging with the server, so I'm gonna stick to it.
I mean, I have to pass a
Much better.
willpower test not to murder this guy.
So, would you roll your damage?
Yes, much better. 6 damage.
So 6 damage goes through. How would you like to kill the servitor?
What was this? This was to the head, right? No, this
No,
was
the
to
20, so the
head,
left
yeah.
arm.
Yeah, left arm. So I'm just gonna hack at his arm, and then I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna hit again until my sword goes straight through, and basically chop him in half.
So you bring your sword down onto the servitor's clavicle, chopping into it. You bring your sword down again, slicing away into its core and bringing your sword round to cut away the servitor's arm and side as black ooze and oil spurt out from the inside. There's a shriek as the machine spirit inside dies.
I'm gonna do a motion to flick the oil away from my sword, and I'm gonna look at the guy on the floor screen and say, "Stop screaming. We still need you alive, but we
So
don't need you with a tongue."
technically, he is, he can take actions, but you do surround him. He no longer has any tricks. You can try and take him in alive at this point. There's enough of you to be able to manhandle him.
That's not. I have to make a willpower test to take him alive.
This is true. That's why you're still in initiative time. So once it comes onto your turn, you might be the one who finishes him. Are you okay with that, Diogenes?
I am.
Okay, so we skip your turn as Miss Alexa tries to steel herself into not killing the tech priest,
The Emperor has spoken.
along with Nuffle.
and she goes to kill him with the Emperor shall pass judgment on you, and your Omnisire shall punish you for your crimes. And then I hit him with my chain blade. What's the bonus to hit someone who's prone?
You can just hit him.
Plus 20, I believe.
He is on -5. He has 6 soak, so roll damage, and if you do anything over, oh well, never mind. A natural 100, you bring your chain blade down, and he tries to like protect himself as you hit into his metal hand, into his
I'd say
metal
you
arm.
slip on the blood. You tried to do it overly dramatic and you slip on the blood.
I like,
Yeah, I
I,
think
like
that's
hitting,
what-
I like hitting the arm because
Yeah, it's a last second thing. Like, she isn't going for dramatic. She's going for, I'm going to murder you. The Emperor blesses this.
it's like a flinch, you know. The tech priest is like, protect the face, protect the face. With
And
his-
like, as she swings, it's just Tech Priest like, protect the face. And it's like, the Emperor has judged you may live this time.
Okay.
And that is where we exit combat. As the tech priest can easily be subdued with all of
Also,
you.
if Alexa tries something again, I just punch her in the face.
The fuck?
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
No,
I'd agree with Ghost.
if she tries again after that one, after the failure.
I mean, she's gonna be unjamming her chain blade for the first couple of seconds, and by that point she calms down.
Okay, yeah, so I don't punch you in the face then.
And still, the fuck?
Ghost does not care about consequences apart from, okay, if I do not do my mission correctly,
He
I
does
get
know
killed.
if the group doesn't like him, he's just as likely to get killed for making the group not work.
Here's the thing, though. You're the one that almost killed a potential witness that our interrogator would want.
So, to wrap
Eh.
this bit up a little bit,
That would mean that I would leave no witnesses.
you take the tech priest prisoner. You are able to bind his hands with the manacles that are on your dead compatriot. You recover his body.
I would like to take his shock maul.
You search. Unfortunately, all possessions are taken by the Arbites.
Oh.
No, that was a quip from another series.
Okay.
I will need to speak to Jazina for now. For now, the Inquisition will claim your possessions when you die. So next
I
time,
won't touch it.
next episode, we'll talk about what happens to his possessions. If you want something, you might be able to requisition it a lot easier. Or, you know, if Jazina says no, one of them is a family object, it would go to this character who's, then obviously you can't have it. As you have as much time as you want in here now, I will tell you what you find. The Tech Priest bonus will aid you in whatever you need. He is completely baffled by what has gone on. After searching the place, you find a seed. You only find one seed. You look everywhere, and Bonus helps you. He points out what is day to day, what is normal, and you know what is just out of the ordinary. And you actually find this seed on the Tech Priest himself. You have no idea what this seed is from. This will be something that you'll need to investigate at a later date. Once you have...
I also
Small question. While the ground is still soaked in Erebus's blood, can I try to just sort of stealth away from the group but stay inside the blood and take some of it into a vial?
You want to drink his blood, don't you?
So, you would need to, at the very least, do like a sleight of hand. Because I don't think... So I'll leave it up to the guys. You're moving the body out. You're taking the Tech Priest out. Would you leave this room for that long, or ghost that? I think it'd at least be a sleight of hand check. Not just a stealth, but...
I'm gonna be honest. Even if Amanda sees it, she doesn't fucking care. It's weird as all hell, but she's from a death world. She's seen so much shit by now.
Yeah,
that
I'm
she's
from
like,
a deaf world too, so
Yeah,
just
I'm like,
think-
whatever. Some people get fingers, some people get, teeth, some people
I
get,
mean, at the very least,
body
just the
parts.
sleight of hand, because Alexa would care, because that could be heresy.
this is why I'm trying to do it away from the group, like when they're manhandling the dude away.
I mean, I'll oppose it with awareness.
So
So he's got a
the
really good
issue
chance.
is, Ghost, is that this is a crime scene that you're all going to be searching. You're all going to be looking round, looking at computers, cogites, looking at. So it's going to be a busy area, if you get what I mean. So there's going to be lots of people going through, and because you've now got access to this whole area to search. There is one less of you now. So you would need to do a sleight of hand check. It wouldn't just be a question of stealth, because you've constantly got people coming through talking in a fairly small group.
No, but I'm trying to make it look like, okay, there's blood behind this machine, so I'm gonna look behind the machine and then do that.
I mean, if you want to lie, then that'd be deceive.
Because the thing is, you're taking a vial off of your person, opening it, and then slowly going down and gathering some. So I believe that would be sleight of hand. If you don't want anyone to see it, that is. You can do it without anyone, if you don't care.
Now, I'm trying to avoid people seeing it.
Then just roll sleight of hand, I'll oppose with awareness. There we go.
And my target for that's only a 21. So.
I fail by fewer degrees.
So there's a little clink and a scrape, and Alexa turns round to see Ghost kind of leaning up against the cognite unit, investigating something. If anyone else would like to roll, they can. The tech priest sure as hell isn't. He doesn't care.
What are you doing?
Like I said, even if Amanda saw, she wouldn't care either way, so she's not even gonna bother. She's paying attention to the actual guy she has to pay attention.
Okay, just so you know, you can't bring it up. Oh, I saw you that time, because you haven't rolled to see if you did see. If you know what I mean. So at the moment, your character didn't roll, so you just did not see it. You don't know that this has happened.
Yeah, fine. I'm gonna try to roll then.
Okay, but does Alexa see? She does, right?
No.
I was going to say she failed by fewer degrees.
No, it
Like I
will
said-
be a case of if you pass, you heard a clink, that's pretty much
Plus,
what
I've-
you'll be.
Just said, she's gone, what are you doing?
I think the way that it works is because I failed by 3 degrees of success, you get a plus 30 to your test, so.
No, I'm just doing this as a flat roll off because it's between characters. I gave you enough to be able to inquire, so
Okay.
she said, what are you doing? You can then give your, and then if there has to be a deceive check, there is. So Amanda, you don't see. You hear a clink and a little scrape. You turn round and again you see Ghost leaning up against a cognite unit, investigating something or looking at something. Perhaps picking something up from your deceased friend.
So long as he's not taking the obvious Chocmal or the armor.
No, the
doesn't
body's,
mind.
the body's
I'm
already
not
been
taking
moved.
any of the weapons.
The
Okay,
body's
so yeah,
already
I
been
get-
moved.
She doesn't mind. She's just gonna look. He's doing something behind a thingamajig, so she's like, eh.
Okay, so Alexa did ask, what are you doing?
Okay. For this, I need to know if she's actually seeing the vial in my hand.
No, she is not. She heard a clink, a scrape, and then saw you leaning up, kneeling down, either examining something or just kneeling down and leaning against the cognite.
I thought I saw something.
So what?
Yeah, that's the thing. I do not know what it is. I tried to grab it. It slipped over the blood. Where is it now? I am trying to make it appear as if I'm not trying to look around the machine, like where the hell is this thing that I supposedly am looking for? You're free to help look if you
that
want.
sounds like a deceive roll to me.
My fellowship's terrible, but at least I have deceive. Fuck.
He found something. You know he found something. He's trying to hide it. You're not sure what he found, though.
Whatever you're looking for, you found it. Make sure that it doesn't cause any trouble. We don't need you just to offend the mechanics while we're here.
It isn't related to the mechanics.
And then she'll kind of like microbead. Goes, the situation's been dealt with. He's been captured. However, we've got one dead, blood everywhere in the lab, and I'm heavily injured.
Okay.
However, I will also confirm that Bonus has been overworked and mistaught, but he seems to be innocent of this.
So, we will take this into story time mode to finish up this episode. How would you like to deal with Bonus? He knows your Inquisition. The tech priests are not going to be happy if you try and take him away because he is a rising star. Or do you want to do this another time?
I was just thinking, if it's not a problem with anyone else, I'm gonna try and come up with a little cover story, convince him to not sell out that we're Inquisition, and then make him an inquisitorial asset inside the facility. So he's not fully inquisitorial, but the Inquisition can come and go, okay, you know who we are. We need help with this. So that we have an asset in the planet, because we didn't have one coming in.
I mean, don't you hate his guts? For you to make him an asset would be...
I am automatically stopped hating whoever I spent a fate point on at the end of combat. And I spent a fate point to get hatred. What's his face?
That feels a bit weird to me.
It's a fanatic's hatred, so it's not...
It was hatred against Dante, not against Bonus, so...
Also, don't forget...
Anyway, I really don't mind either way, just make sure he doesn't speak about the Inquisition and it will be fine.
But yeah, remember, the hatred's not quite the I hate you and must die. No, it's the Emperor has judged you will die. So, I will deliver his vengeance.
So you would essentially put in your report, because remember, your Inquisitor is only in the sky above. Your Interrogator is only in the sky above you. So it's not like he's let you far off the leash. You want to tell him that you want to take Bonus into the Inquisition and make him an inquisitorial asset based on this planet.
Yeah, that way we have someone on planet to keep an eye out in case something like this happens again. It makes getting a cover story easier.
Okay. Actually, I will need to take my pen out and write a couple of notes.
If you want.
Okay. Anything else?
Just that, and then I'll also explain everything, even the way I've made the links. And Diogenes will get... It won't be flat out stated, but it'll probably be heavily hinted it's his fault this happened. In that I heard him repeating the word Inquisition repeatedly.
Okay, so what are you going to tell the Mechanicus? Because you're going to have to take Bonus and his master away. So are you going to tell them that they're what?
The Mechanicus I can get away with lying to.
As the Ministorum members, under your original guise, what are you going to tell the Mechanicus the reason for taking these 2 tech priests away with you?
Bonus, it'll be like really minor kind of. We're just questioning him to make sure that this is all done, and we'll be out of your hair once we've finished. Because our investigation, I'll make it kind of like we've nearly finished our investigation. We're just getting to the final stages, and we're trying to figure out how involved Bonus is before we deliver our report to you, because we don't want him to be punished for what his master's crime seem to be. I'll make it out it's mostly his master. We're just trying to make sure he is innocent, and then I'll kind of like make it like when it comes to the master, like why he attacked us, it'll be we're taking him off to like an area where he cannot be attacked by some misguided people, and if I can't do that, I get away with it. There will be the odd person here and there that I might have to reveal our status to get them to go, yeah, we'll back off a little bit.
Okay.
But it's like if minimum last resort is we are Inquisition, we are doing something here. Let us finish what we're doing. But the main one is.
Are you going to tell the Mechanicus? Are you going to take? Well, you did tell them, so.
I'll take responsibility for him going, for the guy going that, and it'll be like we were telling the Bonus about how our investigation had led up. His master walked through, heard about how we believed Bonus was being framed by somebody, and immediately started running. And then proceeded to set a servitor on us.
Okay.
Everything I do will be a creative misinterpretation of the facts, but never a flat-out lie.
Okay. So, I'll tell you now that the Mechanicus Scutari turn up with Jonas. You tell them what has happened. Bonus is kept away from the Scutari and Jonas. Jonas informs the Scutari to clear the area, to search everything, shut the area down. Tech priests of the Chirasians turn up, of the tech priest variety. They begin doing investigations. All of the tech priest gear is claimed by the tech priests.
I will hand that over, no problem.
Your fallen comrade is respectfully dumped into a body bag, and servitors take his remains to your ship. Upon hearing the fact that you want to take Danta in for more questioning, they put up some resistance. However, you have shown that you're quite accepting of the Mechanicus, so they allow you to take the rogue tech priest. When it comes to Bonus, however, they refuse to allow you to take him.
With taking him, whether like taking him off planet, it'll be like just taking aside light questioning, because we've already established he is innocent, just really badly taught.
So I will probably say you have a couple of options here. They are refusing to let you take Bonus. They will not allow it. For you to say, we're going to take him away to teach him, would be an affront to the tech priests.
Oh no, that's not what we're doing. It's like we're just taking him to the side, giving him light questioning. Like we are actually going to make it clear, like we don't think he's at fault here.
If you want to make it clear that you're taking him up to your ship for further questioning in controlled circumstances, you control the area, you would need to make me a requisition test to see if they would allow for him to go up and be returned.
And if that doesn't happen, then like all Alexa actually kind of wants is just, I want to question him. I will question him on planet. I just want to take him off to the side and explain what's gone on to him, so that he knows why we've been investigating him as well. But let's see if I did it. I did it!
Okay, well done. They allow you to take him for 48 hours. You have him for 2 days on your ship. And they tell you that if he is not returned within 2 days, they will open fire on the Administratum's ship, because they don't know any better at the minute. But they will allow it. So you are able to take both tech priests onto your ship and go back up to the interrogator's vessel in orbit. And that is where we will leave off for this episode. You were able to search the tech priest's affairs. You didn't find anything other than that odd seed. But you also have the white powder and 2 people to interrogate.
When I give like my report in to the Inquisitor, I will be handing over everything I've got that can be sent off for further testing.
And as I promised, it is the end of the 2nd episode. This mission has come to an end. Unfortunately, you were not expected to do the interrogation. However, if you want to, you can.
I have the skill.
The reward for waiting 2 episodes is 450 XP. So congratulations, Acolytes, you have survived the first mission. We'll see if you survive the next. And that is where we will leave it for this stream. So thank you very much for joining me here in the Dumbass class. I've been the Dyslexic Gamer. These have been my unwitting sacrifices. Khorne will accept me. And hopefully I will see you
will
next
also
time.
accept me. That or Stolnesh. Either one of them.